Se sent bien bientôt.
Oh, yeah.
I hope she feels better soon.
Yeah, well.
Is she like unwell feeling, or is she just
No,
got the...
she's actually not that ill.
that's
She's
good.
got sore throat and a runny nose, and she's coughing a bit. But other than that, she's all right.
I hope it doesn't get worse. I hope it gets all better soon.
I know. So do I.
All right. Well, it looks like the stream is happening. I'm recording. We ready to start?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I think so.
Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I do know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, I do.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Here we go, people. Sledgehammer in the house. Come on, yeah.
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Ginny, other fellas will tell you about every single game that you play this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with a soundbite savior. It's the veteran gamers.
Not again!
It's the veteran gamers.
This hunky grandma be tripping.
Yeah, boy.
I don't, you see,
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to episode 763 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yeah, 763, baby. And Duke is back in the pink of health. That's me. I'm Duke.
Yeah, you sound way better. I'm Stu.
I'm way better.
Chinny.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
military veterans, people. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle. But you're never too old to play. Or as this shirt says, never too old to game. It's a bootleg piece of swag.
That's right. That's
Not
the
a-
logo.
Mr.
Do you
Hero.
know?
Love
Not
you, Mr.
official
Hero.
merchandise.
Not
Oh.
official merchandise. Do you know
No,
you
that's
forget
how big
about,
we are.
You forget about the logo. We did have a logo. You're never too old to game.
Yeah, we have I don't forget about the logo. I made it and I think about it every day. It's awesome. And people keep stealing it on the internet. Y'all owe us money if you're stealing it.
It is
I think
true.
I got
You
some
know,
nacho cheese on my shirt.
it is true. Kay constantly says, "When are you going to stop playing games?" I'm like, never.
Hey, Tim Walls was so addicted to his Dreamcast that his wife had to hide it and like unplug it and shit. And the Duchess goes, "Oh, I know what that's like." I'm like, "Come on, it's not that bad for me."
You know, if I end up in the care home, I'll be quite happy if they just plug me in.
Hell
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Just plug me
Dude,
in.
oh,
man.
no one came to visit him. I don't want no one visiting me. Just give me an internet connection
Yeah.
and a fucking gaming PC and leave me alone.
Shove my food under the door. I don't want to see
You
anyone.
don't even
I
have
just
to
wanna
do that.
play
Leave it
video games.
outside the door. I'll get it when I have a break. You don't need to be shoving anything under the door. Chinny,
would
what do
be-
you want to be like when you're a decrepit old man?
Dead.
Dead. That's like on Sledgehammer, which I just introduced Amar to. You're welcome, Amar. The mob boss goes, "I want Hammer delivered to me in a box. I want him for the rest of his life to be dead."
Oh, okay.
So, it's a great show. It was a parody, 1980s parody of the satire of over-the-top police violence. And
While
it's just really funny.
we're talking about television shows of the televisual nature,
Right past everybody. Not anyway. Go on.
Sorry,
Yes,
dude.
nature.
Sorry,
go ahead.
dude. I do
It's
try with
okay.
your
I know
stuff,
it happens, right?
Yeah, we've no idea what you're talking about. No idea.
I do
You
try.
could ask or think about it. But no, it's okay.
no.
Go ahead.
Well,
Another
You're
reference by
saying-
Duke that no one understands.
you're saying it's a funny TV show, but it's about police violence, and I don't know how that's funny. Just saying.
Well, if I told you there's a TV show about incompetent, greedy, horrible politicians, would you want to watch that?
Suppose.
Okay, well, I'm just saying. Anyway, you were saying there's some nature program you watched.
No. After my discussion with Mike last week regarding Better Call Saul,
Ah, yes, right.
I gave Kay an ultimatum. I said, "Look, you know what?
It's either watch the show or get the fuck out.
Or
Kay."
leave.
Yeah."
Yeah.
I said, "No." I basically said to her, "Look,
So you're packing your bags.
we watched 5 series of this thing, and I feel like we should finish it."
You gotta just
Together.
finish what you started, Kay.
Together.
Come on.
I said, "I started watching on my own." I said, "But it's not the same because you've watched all
Not
of
the
it as well."
Why do you
feel
care
like-
if she watches it or not?
Well, it's a journey we've both gone on, isn't it? You know what I mean? We've gone on this.
Yeah, but you don't want to
journey
drag someone kicking and screaming over the finish
trying to
line.
find
Yes,
out
he
what
does.
happens
I
to
guess he does.
Saul. But no, to
So
be
what'd
fair,
she say?
She's been quite enjoying it. She's getting.
Okay.
I'll be honest, Chinny. We're hoping because we've got 2 episodes left.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 12 and 13, and we're hoping there better be a bloody payoff because it's slowed down a lot.
Well, what do you want to what do you want to pay
I
off?
don't know. I don't know. The only thing I've said is right. Minor spoilers, I guess, for Better
Spoilers
Call
for Better Call Saul, go on.
for anyone who's not seen
I
it.
can't
or
remember
is-
what happens. Like in the episode that you just watched. I don't know where you are. So
I want
Well,
to know.
Saul just killed all the children in the orphanage. So
Have you watched this, Duke, at all?
nope. We watched like half of the first season, and for whatever reason, couldn't get into it. We thought we might go back later, never did. Whatever. Homicide just
Yeah.
started streaming on Peacock, so I'm watching that. Dutch is
It is
letting me
pretty. I mean, to be honest with you, it's got more and more sort of Breaking Bad territory towards the end.
mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
All right. But yeah, the only thing I want to know is
Mm-hmm.
what happens to Kim after the after.
Yeah. No, you get
Because-
that. You get that.
Because the only bit we've got so far is the phone call where we don't actually find out what's said or anything. It's just like,
We
you
will
know,
talk about video games soon. Don't worry.
and then he gets really angry and smashes the
you
phone.
will get that payoff.
Good. Because that's it. That's really the only thing left that I'm that bothered about, if I'm being totally
Have
honest.
you had your black and white episode?
We've had 2 of those.
2 of those. Is it the one
2
where
of
he sort
those.
of tries he's scamming them all? Is that something like that?
Yeah, so we've had the scamming them all,
Yeah.
and we've had the scamming the blokes.
Right.
So we've had that as
Yeah.
well. So we've had 2 kind of one. That one's a bit half black and white, half flashbacks.
I'll say this, it's no spoilers. What happens to Saul at the end of Better Call Saul is fantastic. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Oh, okay.
It's
So-
it's where that character deserves to end up, and that's not the very end, but how he's. I can't say too much, but
Well, he's done. Let's be fair. He's done a lot of shitty things in his life.
he
And
gets what he deserves.
there's been close moments of redemption for him throughout the whole of this, the whole of Better Call Saul, where if he'd have just taken that slight detour, he might have turned out a lot better. Do you know what I mean? But
Well, I thought what's great about the show,
he
I
can't help
think
himself, can he?
What there was a moment, I think it was in the first season, that I thought was brilliant. Was so Saul has a perfect job, right? He's upgraded to he works for a firm, not for his brother's firm, for a different firm.
Yeah.
Where he's the same sort of senior solicitor, lawyer, whatever, as his brother. He's respected. They're relaxed with him. He can do what he wants. They give him a car, right?
Yeah, and he's
then
pretty good at his job. He does a good job.
And he gets this water bottle, like a coffee thermostat thing, and the
Yeah.
thermostat used to fit in his cup holder in his
Yeah.
old car, and his thermostat didn't fit in the
I think
cup
you mean
holder.
his thermos. A thermostat's
Well,
a completely
thermostat. Sorry, yeah, it's thermos. It's thermos. All right, everybody, calm down. I said the wrong word.
Is this some weird term that
I
people use in
said
I
the
know,
wrong
yeah,
word. Mike said the
thermostat.
wrong word. Let's all laugh at him.
He's
Shut
got
up,
to
right.
set. He's got to set the temperature on that thing with his.
No,
Anyway,
I
he
said
puts
it
his
wrong
thermos
word.
in the cup holder. Doesn't fit anymore, and that
Doesn't
is the
fit.
little thing that sets him off. I got you.
That sort of like says to him like, this isn't right.
This isn't the life I want to have.
Just because it sort of says that he doesn't fit. Really, he's like he
Yeah.
doesn't fit.
It's
And
a very metaphorical moment.
and it doesn't beat you over the head with it. He just puts it in and he goes, no, I don't want this job. I want more excitement. So fun stuff. Great show.
Yeah.
Stuff. It's been good though.
Okay.
I'll be honest. We've binged because we've both been on holiday this week, so we've kind of. And
Because
the
it's
weather,
the third week of the month, so just
and the
have
weather's
a
been.
week off.
I know exactly, and the weather's been pretty shit. So it's kind of just been a case of. Let's just binge some telly, you know what I mean, in between the sort of sun and rain showers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been pretty good. I've got to say, it's a solid at the moment. Solid 8 out of 10, I reckon.
All right.
Solid 8 out of 10.
Chinny, are you giving that show a 10 out of 10, or would you say it's more of a 9 compared to Breaking Bad?
I think Breaking Bad's a 10. I think it's a 9.
Yeah.
Word.
There's been a couple of episodes that have been a clean 10.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But overall, if I take it as a whole, You know, the whole the whole
I
series.
suppose maybe an 8, because if you'd have said to me Better Call Saul is going to be more seasons than Breaking Bad, I'm like,
Yeah,
did it
not
really
a
need
chance.
to be like
Nah.
there's the six
They was making a lot
seasons
of
it.
money. They had to keep it going, keep
Yeah.
it going.
So I just want Vince
Do
Gilligan.
we really need 20 Fast and Furious movies?
I want Vince Gilligan to just move on from the Breaking Bad
Yes.
universe. I don't want him to do
Yes.
anything else there. Now it's
Yes.
all wrapped up. There's nothing else. There's no other characters I want to know about. Everything's done.
No.
I'm fine.
Take a hint from David Simon, man. There's lots of stories to tell out there.
We
I
know,
kinda just
we
say-
know what
kinda
happened to
just
Walt.
say-
We know what happened to Jesse. We know what
Know
happens
what
to
happens to
Saul.
Saul.
So it's all fine.
Can I just say as well, the big scam in the final season of Better Call Saul, the payoff is great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the payoff of the big scam
Mm-hmm.
is very clever, I'm gonna say. And obviously there's a big moment that I absolutely did not see coming, you know, and that was a big moment. in
Okay,
the
you're being
show.
too vague now because I don't remember, Sam. Move on.
There's a huge
All right,
moment.
so
that
I
you
moving on.
Stu,
sure
I
that-
don't remember. You're saying when that
No.
character does that, eh? Remember when that character does that?
Well,
And
when
I'm
you
like-
watch it again, Shinny, you'll know what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
you'll know.
Meanwhile,
You'll know.
Homicide just started streaming on Peacock, and so he's from the same people who made The Wire. Andre Brower, who is Captain Holt on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, is a sort of younger cop in Homicide, on the Homicide beat, and it's based on a book by David Simon, and it's really good. The Duchess felt like it was too disjointed, and it's also kind of dark, so she wasn't as into it, but I've been watching it. It's really good, and so if you have access to Peacock, check it out, people. It's television history. Took a long time to get on on the air, but now it's there.
Very good. I'll give it a go. I might give it
Yeah.
a go. Might give it a go.
Yeah.
I'm
You
never
can get it over
saying
there and give
never.
it a shot.
Never say never.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Never say never.
Right.
never.
All right. Any other story times? Anything about health? I'm feeling better. I was sick last week. I was sick most of this week too. Just coughing up my lungs. God damn, I had to sleep downstairs because I kept waking the Duchess up in the middle of the night.
Oh, nice. No.
Tua. Gotta spit on that thing. Anybody story or anything? Or should we just jump in?
No, I haven't got anything else, I don't think, for this week.
Nothing happened to me.
Just moving right along. People. You heard there? That was the story. Yeah.
I'll be back in 1 second. I haven't taken me pills. How long
Oh
have you been?
Christ!
Gotta
What
take
was he
me pills.
lying? Why
Gotta
don't
go
you
and
prepare
pop the
ahead of
pi-
time?
gotta pop the
Ah,
pills,
God,
man. Pop the pills.
Go ahead, pop your pills then. Chinny, are you starting or am I starting?
No, I'm not starting.
Okay, well then I'm starting, god damn it. Because it was the week. It's been 6 weeks since
Oh.
Once Human launched, and guess what they do every 6 weeks? That's right, they wipe the servers. Which means
Is that a good
all
thing
your
or
stuff
that-
goes to Eternal Land, and then you can take some of it back. It's really weird. Like, they don't want it to be an actual wipe. Like in Rust, the servers wipe, like everything goes away. You start from scratch. And as a lot of people know, I love that part of it, you know, start it up and let's start over. But they didn't want to do that with Once Human. A lot of people were really upset at the idea of server wipes. So they tried to kind of have it both ways. There's this place called Eternal Land where you can put stuff after your seasons, resources that you've got, weapons, armor, all of it. And then you have like, I don't know how exactly it works, but I guess you have like 20,000 points that they give you that you can use to bring stuff back into the new server, right? I was like, okay, fine. So I was like, I'll bring this back, I'll bring that back. And then they're like, insufficient funds. And I'm like, what are insufficient funds? I guess I used up all 20,000 points bringing stuff back that I didn't really care that much about. And now I'm like, I should have brought back a chainsaw, because you start back over with your like axe made out of sticks and stones. And I'm like, damn it, the chainsaw is so much faster to get wood. Wood. So anyway, yeah, that's but it's fun. I actually, you know, I love starting over in these games. So yeah, I've been doing that with Once Human. And the interesting thing is, they ask you if you want the full experience again, just starting from scratch and doing everything over again, or they have what's called a simplified experience, where in order to complete the quests, you don't have to actually go through the process of completing the quest. You can just like go to the area where it begins, and then you push a button and it's like quest complete. So it's like, okay, good. I like that, because, you know, not every quest needs to be done. But, you know, I get to build a new base. I get to start, you know, grinding for materials and whatnot and making all the weapons and stuff. And yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Once Human.
So
Mwah.
was this
Game of the year.
server wipe a good thing for you?
It was a good thing, yeah, because I had reached, I mean, I'd gotten to the end of basically the content in the game, and there are a few missions, like there's this final boss that's just freaking nuts. Every video that you see about it is like, you're going to have to get lucky if you're going to beat this thing solo. Because if you have other people with you, it's a little easier. And I guess I should have tried to queue up with other people, but I was just like, I reached a point where I was like, I don't really care about that final boss. And I had done everything else on the quest list. So I was ready for a new challenge. And they are bringing in new stuff. So they have new enemies here in this one, right? So this season, they dropped in this, it's like a cardboard box with legs, and it scurries around and it's like immune to everything. I saw it and I was like, okay. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So I couldn't kill it. It was like immune, right? Whenever you shot it, it just said immune instead of the number of hit points damage you did. So I was like, what is this? So I went away. I went back to my house and I went looking on Reddit, and it was like, I looked for like box with legs, new season. And it was like, the top post was this post that's like, I really, really hate these things. And it was all complaining about that box. Apparently what you got to do is you got to throw a Molotov cocktail at it to burn up its shield, and then you can shoot and kill it.
Ah, Alan Wake.
I guess. So the problem is I've never messed with Molotov cocktails. I don't throw explosives in this game. That's not how I roll. I like to shoot things. Well, I'm going to have to use them because it's not an option to just shoot it, because shooting it doesn't do enough. You got to start with a Molotov. So they're throwing wrinkles in. They're giving you new quests. They're making you have to think differently and evolve your gameplay.
Oh, well,
So,
at
yeah.
least they're giving you new content. They're not just wiping it and then just same thing again. Have another go.
It's true. I mean, I don't mind a wipe and then just do the same thing again. I'm okay with that myself. But I know there's people who are like, I want to do different things. Like, what kind of people are they? What kind of weirdos want to do
People
different
who
things when
want
they play a game?
variety, I guess.
Ugh, I know. Make me vomit.
What
Take
is
your
wrong
variety
with
and shove it.
variety? I don't know.
Ugh.
No, I'm with I want variety people.
Eh,
You know me,
we
I
can't
get
all be
bored.
cool.
I get bored really quickly with stuff. I need to move on. Give me something new. Give fresh. Want something fresh? man.
Breaking Bad's really fresh and new, huh? It's completely different from.
Better Call Saul is completely different.
Right. It's completely different. Okay.
It's completely different.
Anyway, Once Human is awesome. I love it. It's a lot of fun. People should check it out. It's free. Price is right.
It's free to pay. Free to play, even. Free to pay.
Yes.
Pay. I don't know. It's
Someday
free.
they'll have controller support. Probably, maybe. I don't know.
Have they still not got that with the new season?
I don't know. I don't use controller. Cool people use keyboards.
I mean, I might give it a go if they finally add controller support. Other than that, nah.
Give it a go anyway. It's an awesome
No,
game.
not going to do it. It's not happening.
All right. Who's next? Stu, what do you got?
Well, there's only me because Chinny apparently has played nothing according to his thing.
Yeah, I wrote that in there. I wrote
did
nothing
you?
because I'm a lazy person who refuses to make time for video games.
I thought
Knowing
he'd
that the
actually written
truth
that.
is actually that he's very, very busy with a very small
Oh,
child.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know if he has a small child?
I don't know. Right, yeah, I'll be honest, I've got back on. I've got played 2 games with Ghost in the title this week.
Ooh, okay.
And the first of those I'm going to talk about is Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, because this game is fucking amazing. I'm telling you, you are wrong,
Okay.
Mr. Scaff.
Uh-huh.
Because
Let's
this
tell you.
game is. The further I get into it, the more impressed I am with the puzzles, and how
Okay.
they make everything. Because what they do, they actually make puzzles where you go wrong to learn what you actually have to do. And I quite like that. It's quite clever. So you do something that you think is right, but you have to start over because you realize when you do the thing that you think is right, that it's wrong.
So you try
But
to
once
stop
you
the person
realise
from being
it's
killed,
wrong,
and
you
then the person
work
gets
out
killed.
what you need to do to be right. Does that make sense?
No.
So that's how this game works. It kind of teaches you by going
You fail
wrong
in order to figure out
to
what you got to do
know
right.
how to go
I
right.
don't- Can you hear me, Chinny? I feel like he
Oh.
can't hear me.
There was one bit in
I can
particular
hear
I
you,
was
Duke.
stuck
Duke,
on.
Stu, can you
Okay,
hear?
I don't think s-
ages, right?
can
And
you
I
hear
thought,
Duke?
shit, I ain't never doing
Oh, I
this.
don't
I've
think he
tried
can
all
hear
this, that, and the other, right?
Oh wow!
And then it
no.
just turned out to be
can't hear
something
us.
really
The fuck?
simple.
We've got a rogue
And
Stu.
that's frustrating because
Oh,
you're like,
no.
fuck it, how
He's
did
just
I not
going.
see
Let's
that?
see
You
how
know
long
what I
it
mean?
takes him to notice. Stu.
Am I talking to myself here, or has it gone off?
Yes.
No,
You can't
we
hear me, can
you
you?
can't.
Yes, we.
We
For
can hear
God's
you.
sake, I
You
hate
can't
Zoom.
hear
Why is
us.
Zoom not working
It's
anymore?
not Zoom. It's you.
The fuck? I don't know. Hold up.
We can
Now
hear
then,
Do
you.
is
what you
it
did
just-
last time. Speaking of failing in order to figure out what to do, Zoom is the puzzle game every week.
I hate it. Could you actually hear me though?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you could. At least you could.
We
hear
would-
me.
You couldn't hear us.
I couldn't hear anything
we
you
had,
were saying.
We had bets on how long it would take for you, for you to.
Well, I
Well,
kept thinking,
I lost the
hang
bet.
on.
I said like halfway through the show.
It could have
We
been.
should, but see, I was
It could've
gesticulating.
been.
I shouldn't have done that. I should have just been like,
No, I'll be honest. I
No, because
haven't
he doesn't
seen
look.
that.
He doesn't look at the
I
window.
didn't.
He
No, I
doesn't look at
don't.
Zoom.
I know. So I hadn't seen that. I was thinking there's no response.
all right,
every
here.
time
you
I
were going to
say-
give us an example. Oh, go ahead.
Every time I say like, look at this on the Zoom call, he
Yeah.
goes, "I'm gonna pit," because he has to close things and stuff. So he's never.
So
looking
you,
at the
Stu,
call.
you were going to give us an example of how you fail in this game in order to figure out
Yeah.
what you got to
So,
do right.
for instance, right, there's a bit where a dude has a heart attack.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Dude.
But you have to get and he knocks his heart pills off the desk, so he can't take his heart pills. Therefore, he doesn't get his meds, and as a result of not getting his meds, he dies.
Oh.
You see, but then
So
you
wait,
have to
while
save
he's
him.
having the heart attack, he's supposed to take some meds that stop the heart attack?
Correct, but when he tries to grab for them in the middle of his heart attack, he inadvertently knocks them off the desk instead, and then obviously he can't reach
Gotcha.
them.
So what
And
you have to
then-
do is you have to put like a garbage can underneath his hand or something.
No, so there's
Chop
a
his hands off.
knight. No, there's a knight with a sword. Okay. But when you try and swing it the first time, you realize that you can stick. I can't remember what it is. It's some sort of fruit you can stick on top of the sword. And when he swings the sword, it should hit the pills to go get him back on the desk so he can get to the pills so he doesn't die. But
Okay.
the whatever the fruit is, I think it's a melon or something. It's not quite big enough.
Ah.
But the
It's
opposite,
it's a nectarine. It's a peach. Just put unknown stone fruit.
whatever, it's not big enough. But then at the opposite side, there's another knight, and above him is a globe. But that globe goes on the end of his sword, but then he's not in the right position to hit the pills.
Ah, if only you could
So-
combine them somehow.
So you've got to work out how to get the globe to the other side so that you can
and then
get
there's a
the
third
globe.
knight, and he has a pumpkin
Oh,
nearby. But
Honestly,
yeah.
you've got to work out how to get the globe on top of the first knight's sword so that he can hit the pills, so that he can. So obviously, you fail a few times because you think what you're doing is the right solution, but it isn't the right solution, and then you work out that what you need to do is something else.
Jenny, are
And
you
I
sure you
kinda
don't want
like
to
that.
try this?
Kind of like it.
Let me think.
Very clever.
think.
It's very clever.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Thinking.
But there is
thinking.
another point I was talking about this, which was frustrating, where you had to break a dude out of prison. And you have to
Ooh.
guide him, right? And it's completely dark, and there's two guards who are like patrolling with infrared goggles on, and you've got to get him out without anyone seeing him. And it took me forever, and I was trying because I realized I could get him to the top of these stairs, but once you got him to the top of the stairs, you couldn't reach anything else to guide him again. So he ended up stuck there, and the guard would see him, and I'm like, it's got to be this, but it wasn't that at all. What I hadn't
The heck,
realized.
what was it?
I know, what I hadn't realised is he could climb into the ceiling void in between the floors. And then you could
Ah.
roll along underneath the guards without them even suspecting he was there. But again, it was still all timing. You had to get all the timing right. What I really like about this game is that it's a lot like Portal, right? In some respects.
Well, except for the graphics and the voice acting and the
Correct.
story and
But-
the characters. And
no,
the
no,
plot
from a
and the-
puzzle
The
puzzle
fun,
perspective.
Yeah, the fun.
Because quite often you work out what you've got to do,
Yes.
but then it's executing it all in the right
I
time
hear
with
you.
all the
I
timing
hear
and
you.
everything. You've got to execute everything at the right time in the right
Yeah,
order
Sure,
to
sure,
get
sure.
it done. And it reminds me of like do you remember Mousetrap, the board
Oh,
game?
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's what I was thinking. It's a big Rube Goldberg machine.
It is,
in video
it's-
game form.
It is. It's about doing everything in the correct order to get to the solution. And I like it because it gets the grey matter going. It makes my head spin a bit, and it makes me want to work shit out. And I think because it gives you those eureka moments where you feel like you've achieved it. When you finally do it, you're like, "Fuck me, I just did it. I know what I had to do, and I did
Yeah.
it." And I think that's
Awesome.
what. And it's accessible in such a way that I've never had to look at a walkthrough. I've been tempted. Trust me, a couple of times I've been like,
Oh, I
Shall I
trust
go
you.
and look? Shall I go and look? And then I thought, no, do you know what? I know I can do this. And I think that's what's great about it because it's accessible enough for you to keep on going at it until you figure out the solution. And that's why I think this game, like puzzle games like this, are so few and far between. Because quite often when you either get something that's too easy and you can just work out what to do, or you get to a point where it's too difficult and you can't like continue or progress any further.
It is rare to find that sweet spot in anything.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think this game does that so well, does the sweet spot. It gives you just enough, doesn't really have any sort of hint guide or anything like that, but it gives you enough for you to work it out for yourself. And I think that's what's great about games like this, because they make you feel clever.
All
So,
right.
I love
I'm
it.
glad you enjoyed
I mean,
it.
it's a 10 out of 10 game for me, this.
10 out of 10.
It's a 10 out
Where's
of 10.
this on your top 5 of the year?
I don't know, because this came out originally in what, 2010? It's 40
did it?
years old. Yeah, it's a very, very
But it
old
doesn't
game.
look like it given the state of the art graphics.
Oh, you're so funny.
I
But
don't
it's
think it looks
stylized.
that bad.
It doesn't actually. It's stylized graphics, and you could get away
Well,
with it.
I mean, it's
now, to be
obviously
fair.
made by a smaller studio. I'm not trying to.
No,
disparage it too
this
much,
was a
but-
big studio for.
Oh
Because
well, then I will disparage it a lot.
this originally came out on the Game Boy.
You tried, Duke. You tried.
I tried.
On
I'm trying to
the
be
not the
good
Game
and
Boy.
nice.
What's it
The
called?
DS,
What was
the
it?
DS.
Nintendo DS. This originally came out on.
Yeah.
But it looks great. I think the stylized graphics.
I think it looks
great.
okay. I just,
Yeah, I think it looks
for me,
fine.
the reason why I don't like this game is because of the dressing. You know, the silliness.
Yeah.
If it was a bit more serious, I'd be into it. But no, not
It
the
kind- you
gameplay,
know,
but the
It
silliness.
kind of is. I mean, I know the presentation maybe.
It kind of is, even though the main character dances like Michael Jackson every 5 minutes.
That is kind of funny.
And his
though.
hair is swept up like
It's kind
a.
of- But the
mohawk.
story itself's kind of serious because the guy's
I
dead.
know,
and
but
It's
he's-
very serious. There's a guy having a heart attack, and you have to manipulate
Yeah,
suits of armor to swing into fruit in order to keep him alive.
Which is even more
Very
bothersome,
serious.
Stu, when the story's really serious and the main
Yeah,
character is
yeah.
doing the
I
fucking
know what you
moonwalk.
mean. That
Do you
is
know what I
kind
mean?
of funny. Now. Do you know what though?
What you
I think
kind of
that's what
like and
makes
what
it
I
funny.
don't like can be the same thing, but it doesn't mean
It's true.
you're wrong or I'm wrong or you're
No,
right
no,
or
I
I'm right.
agree. I
It
do
just
agree.
means that I can't play this game because of how stupid it is.
Yeah, 'cause
and
I'm
I
not
like a
stupid,
stupid
but-
game, trust me. But like, no, it's just the dressing for me.
Well, we'll see how much you like a.
But I
stupid
do want to know. I am totally intrigued as to why he got killed. You know what I mean? Why did he get killed?
Have you gotten at all close to that information after
No,
5
but
hours of
There's
play?
been some revelations. Like I mean, you know,
Like bloody
spoilers for Ghost
season
Trick.
of Better Call Saul, isn't it?
Spoilers for Ghost Trick because I mean you're never going to play this again, Duke. So it
Nope.
doesn't matter to you.
No,
But
it
the
does not.
woman with the red hair who you save at the very beginning of the game is the person who killed you. It turns out.
Bloody hell.
So, but you don't know why. Why did she shoot you? Obviously,
Why?
you know that she shot you.
He's
and
got
it's
a
like-
heartbreaking decision to make about whether his best friend lives or dies.
Because this dude, he seems like a nice dude, and he keeps saving
Yeah, he
everybody.
does now. Everyone's nice after
But
they're dead.
I'm
When
obviously
Dante went
thinking-
into hell,
yeah.
he sees all these people like, "Hey, how's it going?"
But my
Once you get to hell,
suspicion
you
is
turn real nice.
it was maybe a bit of a shady character. It's my
Yeah.
suspicion.
He deserved to
um,
get shot.
Maybe I don't
Maybe
know. I
that's
guess
his
I'll
history.
find out because I'm going to obviously keep playing this game, so I will
Mm-hmm.
find out. It's a brilliant game, by the way, on the Steam Deck. It's perfect for it. You know, it works perfectly. It runs brilliantly. Well, it bloody should do, I suppose, for a
Yeah, I'm
14-year-old
saying
game
10-year ago game.
of
yeah.
a DS.
Mm.
But it's perfect. It's a handheld game. That's how it was designed in the first instance.
Perfect.
You know,
heard
and
it here
that's
first. Stuart said that this game is perfect.
it is
Ghost Trick
perfect.
Phantom
It's
Detective is perfect.
Perfect. It's a perfect 10 out of 10 game.
10
for
out
me,
of
this.
10 from Stu.
10 out of 10. Perfect game. It's got everything. Story,
Everything.
intrigue, puzzles,
Guns.
brilliant gameplay, guns. What more could
sex,
you want? Not
violence.
yet.
No,
Not
there's
yet.
no
So,
sex.
not that I've seen.
It doesn't have
Not that I've
everything,
seen.
does it?
Maybe it's coming. Maybe the sex
Pandas.
is coming.
Pandas.
Pandas having sex.
Pandas having sex.
is a
I don't
rare
know.
thing.
Like that, pandas.
Yeah.
See, it's even into
Yeah.
world conservation, this game.
Australians.
Australians.
There's
Yeah,
any
it's got
Australians
some-
in the game?
Definitely got some of those in there.
So it has everything.
It's got everything. It's got everything you could ever want.
Yeah.
Put it on your wish list. It's in this game.
Uh-huh.
Telling you. Anyway, right, Chinny, have you actually played anything this week?
Got some
Other
breath.
No, other
Go
than
ahead.
stuff, other than
No,
stuff.
just let him talk. Go ahead, Chinny.
All right, go ahead.
Other
go
than
ahead.
stuff.
Just stuff. Stuff.
What are you talking
What
about?
have you been playing, Chinny?
Stuff.
This week, I have been playing Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
You must be getting
Did
close
you get
to
through all the
end.
bosses?
You must be
I
getting
am.
close.
I am getting close. So
Every
did-
week he's getting
Because you've got the
close. He's
you've
only
got the
3 out of
sword, haven't you? Have you got the big
I
sword?
got the Master Sword. Yeah,
You got the Master Sword, which
Yeah,
is
that time ago.
makes a big difference, doesn't it? When you're doing.
I
boss
don't use
fights
it that
and
often, to be honest.
stuff. No, you forget it's there almost because you've got
Yeah.
that much other shit
I
going.
got so
on.
much cack where
Yeah,
I'm just
you
like,
do.
I want to get rid of this weapon, so I'll just use this for a bit. Question for you, Stuart.
Yes, Mike. I may not be able to remember. I'm going to put that out there just before you ask.
Why is your tasting game so bad? No, the real question for you.
Okay.
How many shrines did you do percentage off the top of your head, roughly?
God,
roughly.
I have not a clue. I couldn't even
Was
tell
it
you.
more than
Sam.
50%, do you think?
I did a lot of shrines because they're worth doing because you get so much shit out of
You
shrines.
get
but
120 shrines in the game.
I did a lot. I
How many do
reckon
you
I
reckon you did?
probably. I reckon I probably did a good half of them. I would have thought. I did
Okay.
a lot.
So you reckon you did about 60, 70?
Yeah, maybe a few less than that. I reckon I did. It was definitely up into the higher double figures. I did
Okay.
quite a few.
I've done 102.
Well, I don't
Damn.
think I got anywhere close to that. I don't think I
There's
did. I think I
110.
probably did about. You know me. I just power through the story, until I get to the end of the story. So
I
I
know.
did. I didn't have. Do you know those Korok seeds or whatever they're called?
yeah,
I
yeah,
barely.
yeah, yeah.
I barely got any of those.
But they're useful though,
I know they are.
because
know
they
they are.
give
I
you
got
more
enough.
room.
Well,
in your-
obviously, Stu was able
Yeah,
to
yeah.
finish the game without him.
They give
Yeah,
you
I
more
got enough.
room in the inventory. That's what they
Yeah,
do.
I know. I got enough of them.
Somebody's
for what I
getting a Korok
needed.
seed on the screen now, if you look.
Oh, snap.
So, yes, I've done three.
Oh, that's a lot of shrines, by the way.
102 shrines. There are 120, so I've got 18 left, and I've got them all marked on my map, so I know where they all are. I have done many Korok seeds. I'm in the hundreds with those.
Yeah, you see, I didn't do anywhere. I got enough to, for me.
Beautiful
inventory to
dogs.
be big
Beautiful dogs. So the
enough.
so where I'm at now, I've done 3 divine beasts, as we talked about last week.
Okay, you've got
I
one
am
left to go.
Very, very. I'm on the path to do the final beast. So
You've been on that path for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, he
Get it
has,
done.
but he's
Let's heckle him at the
enjoying
fucking back,
game.
please.
Stop getting distracted by shrines
Well,
and Korok
I'm sorry,
seeds.
Duke,
We want to
but-
hear about the divine beasts.
I'm sorry,
Do I
Duke.
play Skyrim and just wander around and just explore and do
This
weird
game,
shit?
this
No.
game,
I get right to the point.
this game is perfect for someone who has ADHD because it
Do you know,
just
can I
just
distracts
say-
you all the time.
This
Yeah.
is another perfect game. For
I
me.
think you know what. I do agree with you there. I think it is
it's a
very,
10
very
out of
close.
10. This is
Yeah.
another 10 out of 10 game,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. It's for me, and I know Tears of the Kingdom exists, right? And I know you've played and we've talked about that, but yeah, I am getting to the point where I'm like, I don't think there's any flaws with this game. I don't.
There isn't.
I don't think
I
there's-
can't think of a single one.
I can only think of like maybe like there's some drop in frame rate when you get to the fucking forest and stuff like that. Like it's so minor.
It's so
It's
that
just,
doesn't detract from it in any
no,
way,
no,
shape,
not
or
at all.
form,
But like
does it? You know what I mean?
that's about it, really.
Yeah.
And also like you have to see like repeated cutscenes. You know when you go to the big
Yeah.
titty fairies, right? And they go, oh, and that's not joking there, Duke. They're huge.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Huge, massive, giant fairies with huge titties, right? And they're always like trying to kiss you and grab you and stuff. Again, not a joke, but you have to see the same cutscene every time you enhance one of your armor, and it's like, fucking hell, do I have to keep seeing this fucking
Yeah.
cutscene? So there's a lot
And the
of that.
same at the end of every shrine, it's almost identical,
Yeah,
isn't it? As
yeah.
well?
But apart from it's so minor.
They're so minor.
so
Yeah,
minor.
I agree. Such a good game.
So I'm on the path to do the final one. I've been into an underground hideout, and I've got some sort of necklace.
Oh, that's why it's like a prison, isn't it? Isn't it like
It's
a
like
prison?
a dungeon, yeah, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm dressed as a woman.
Yeah, you see, I used the Master Sword in there, I think, from what I can remember, because it was
No.
quite tough. There's a lot of shit going
I
on.
literally walk up to enemies and they just fall over now. I just go plop like that. It's a doddle. You know what? I had a
Go
weird.
get your dad.
I had a weird thought about Breath of the Wild this week. You know what I thought?
Oh God, here we go.
I thought when I finished the game,
Yeah.
maybe I should play it again.
Oh snap! That's a good
That is
sign of a good
weird.
game, man. You want to
That is
start
a
it
good
up?
sign.
Let's start over.
Because I'm like, I wonder how quick I could play this game. I
Yeah,
wonder
yeah,
how
if you
quick I
just
could beat
Speed
it.
running, huh?
But like, not like a proper speed run, because when you watch speedrunners, they do this like bomb
Oh,
jump.
I know. Not
and-
trying to go for a record.
No,
but
not
there's
going for a record,
personal
but, like,
speed
I
runs.
can't
Just like
remember
a
what the
personal-
record is
Yeah,
ridiculous,
sure.
isn't
Oh,
it?
it's
to
like
actually kill
5
the
minutes or
final-
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Kill
I'm
the
just
final
talking
boss.
about like if I did the game properly, but did it as fast as I could. I wonder how fast I could have done this game. Anyway, there is a mode. People, you don't have to tell me, but there is a mode when you finish the game, like the enemies spawn in different places, so you can do like a different thing. Where
New
it's
Game
slightly
Plus.
harder. Yeah, it's a new game plus, but like all the enemies are different places. I fought like a big sandworm thing that scared the shit out of me. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And
Yeah.
fought that in the desert. So that I'm pretty close to the last divine beast. And I'll soon be done with it, and it's going to be sad. I'm going to be sad to let this game go. To be honest, I do love it so much. Yeah, it's
such a great,
it's a
it
wonderful
is
game,
amazing game. It is,
Yeah.
totally amazing.
and I'm collecting armors as well. So there's like, I've got the rubber armor for the
Right.
for the light, so you don't all right,
Called a
dude.
gimp suit.
Yeah, it's not a gimp suit. It's growing.
By the way,
it's
I
for
played
lightning resist.
this
Okay.
on the Wii U.
Yeah,
So I played the Wii U version of this.
So did Duke.
Yeah.
Um,
For 10 minutes.
But yeah, I've got that suit. I've got the Zora suit, you know, the sort of swimming faster one.
Yeah.
I've got the climbing suit.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
There is one area, Duke, in this game that I really wanted to talk about because of you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So at this point in Breath of the Wild, I'm
Is it the 19th century French novelist section?
I'm just skipping over that. I'm super like powered, right? I got loads of hearts.
Okay, yes.
Loads of stamina. All the armor. So if like a lightning enemy attacks me, I'm like, I'll just put my arm lightning resist armor on, whatever.
Eat your breakfast.
And then there's this shrine on this island, and this island's quite far away, and you've got to have a certain thing to get there. And I get there,
Yes.
and I was told about this island, and I forgot about it. And you land on it, and it goes doo 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 like that, and the writing goes, "We're going to take all your shit off you."
Well,
That's brilliant. I love that.
And you're going to have to basically do this shrine on this island with
Without any of your
whatever's
fancy
on the
toys.
island. So in a way, it's a
Start it up.
it's a
Let's
mini
start over.
started up, and it turns
Yeah.
into, because what's really clever about it is because I know the game so well, is that I know what I need to collect and everything. It's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
sure.
doing a really informed startup of a game, because I'm
Yeah,
like, I know what like an enemy drops this, I'm like, well, that's useful, I'm going to pick that up, I'm going to pick that up, that, and you're just scavenging all these items. I've only had one go at it, and it didn't go well. All right, so I was like, okay, so because there's no way to botch it really. There probably is if you Google it, but like I can't just put on the armor to resist this, or I can't like just get out this weapon that's overpowered. I'm like, I'm stuck, right? So I'm just gathering like berries and like trying to get like wood and like it's brilliant. So I will go back to that island once I've done the divine beast. But the plan is to do pretty much every shrine. And
he's a
the last-
completionist.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I'm not going to do the Korok seeds because there's like 1,000 of those. I think there is 999 of those, which is ridiculous.
Man, that's nuts.
So I won't be.
But
doing
there was a
those.
time when you would have done all 999.
Yeah, when I was like
Not anymore.
living at my mom and dad's and
Yeah,
not
right.
not married,
Not having a
and
job.
not having a job, and I was
Oh,
at uni.
baby, no baby.
Oh baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I probably would have done it then, but yeah, tougher to do that now.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed it so much, and I think, I think you're right, Stu. I'll stop talking about it now, but I think it is the perfect game. I don't really see any problems with it. It is absolutely flawless.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
It's an amazing game.
Amazing.
Dude, back to you, I guess.
Yeah. Speaking of amazing games, did y'all ever play Karateka back in the day?
No.
don't know whether that rings a bell. I'm not sure.
So Karateka was a game from Broderbund Software. We're talking like mid-late 80s here. And it was one of the first fighting games with a story. It had a text crawl before you began playing it. You were a dude trying to rescue a woman, and it was made by a guy named Jordan Mechner, and you probably know that name because he made Prince of Persia.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So this was the game he made before Prince of Persia, and my brother and I played Karateka a lot. We were way into this game because it had music, and I mean, when we're talking about music, we're talking about like the Apple II computer with its speaker, right?
Yep.
Exactly. The graphics were very basic by today's standards, but back then it was really revolutionary in terms of like you could see the sun setting and whatever.
So was this like
thing.
is it like Double Dragon? Is it that kind of side scrolling?
Sort of, yeah. Double Dragon, I think, was a version of Karateka. Double Dragon took Karateka and said, "Okay, let's add to it. Let's expand it. Let's fill it with a lot more enemies." It's all karate fighting, punching and kicking. You had high kick, medium kick, low kick, high punch, medium punch, low punch, and you had to time it right. And you couldn't just spam the punches because the person would get in a shot while you're recovering or whatever. I don't know if you had a stamina meter, but you certainly had a health meter. Anyway, this was a huge game when I was a kid. Recently, there's this thing that appeared on Steam called The Making of Karateka. And I was like, okay, I'm curious about this. And so I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, well, I'd like to watch that. And then I went looking for it, and it's like, no. It's not a movie. It has movie elements in it, but it also has the game that he made before Karateka. It has correspondence with Broderbund. It has journals that he kept. So it's a really interesting multimedia, experience about where Karateka came from and all the things, what he was like in college and how he skipped classes all the time. It has him talking to his dad, like recently, about what he was like as a teenager and stuff. So it's just a really interesting, I'm really excited about the idea of having something more than just a little 90-minute movie about the making of a game. You can experience, you can play the game. He made he made Asteroids, basically. He played it in the arcade, and then he came home. He's like, how do I do Asteroids on the Apple II computer? And he basically did it. He figured it out, and he just made it from scratch. And Broderbund wanted to, I guess there was a different company that was going to sell the Asteroids game. And then they got a letter from Atari going, no. This is our intellectual property. You cannot release this. We will sue you. And so they had to cancel it.
I could probably see why.
Totally.
It's a direct clone, isn't it?
It's a direct clone.
Exactly it.
But back in the day, it was a lot harder to track who all was, putting out software because it was going out in such different formats. And there were magazines that just had the code in them, and you just had to type the code.
You just went and got a tape from the local lending library or whatever. You got all
totally. So look, the game that he eventually made was called Bounce Death or Death Bounce or something like that, and it was basically Asteroids but with colored balls. And then Broderbund was like, well, the balls aren't interesting enough because it's just different balls every screen, and so keep trying to evolve it. And he did, and they were very supportive of him, which is nice to see, because sometimes people do art and they send it out into the world and the world just says, fuck you, nobody cares, eat shit. But anyway, that didn't happen for Jordan Mechner, and I'm glad it didn't. So you can play all the different prototypes of Death Bounce or whatever it is. But the cool thing that they did was they made like a new version of Death Bounce that actually is kind of a fun twin stick shooter in 2024. So that was the coolest part of it, is because they said, hey, okay, interesting little idea, but it's not really all that fun. However, let's add some 21st century twists to it, and it's kind of cool. So then there's video of it, and I've only just gotten to the part where he's starting to work on Karateka now. But it's really neat, and it's very well made, and it was $20, and then it went on sale this week, and I was like, okay, I'll buy it for $14. I'm not gonna pay $20 for this, but I'm really glad I got it, and it's really interesting. So if you ever played Karateka back in the day, it's probably still on sale when you hear this, depending on when you listen. So maybe check out Making of Karateka.
There you go. No, it looks cool. I like that.
Another game like this called Atari 50. Have you heard of this?
Okay.
So it's a museum game. They're called museum games now, and this came out in 2022, and it's a celebration of 50 years of Atari. And you can go through the journey of Atari and it's interviews as well. As exactly like this, and probably what inspired this was, hey, you can and now you can play it and you give it a go, and then you try it. And So if you're interested in video game history, Duke, Atari 50 would be a good recommendation.
Totally. Do y'all know why Atari is called Atari?
It's because they want to apply tar to the ground, and they went,
Oh, there you go. I like that.
a tar, re?
It's a good guess. I don't know where the re comes from, but no. So there's this board game Go, which I love. I have a Go set right back there. And the guy who created Atari the founder was a big fan of the game Go. And in Go, you have a position that's kind of like check in chess, where your pieces are going to get captured if you don't save them. And it's the Japanese term is Atari. And so he took that and he made that. And the logo kind of looks like a stone that's in Atari. So Atari Go.
Interesting. I like that.
The
Yeah.
more you know.
The
I
more you
like
know.
factoids. I like little facts about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So-
very good.
That's the making of karateka. And some people call it karateka, which just sounds stupid because it's like karateka, whatever. Anyway, that's it.
Very good.
If I read that, I
Yeah.
would call it Karateka, yeah. If I
Yeah,
read
see,
it.
I instantly thought it's a karate game, so it's karateka.
Yes, That's how everybody cool says it.
That's what I instantly thought. Because I'm not
Yeah.
stupid like Mike.
Stu, what's the other
Yes.
Ghost game you've been playing?
Yes, I've.
I
do you know
cannot
what?
wait.
You know what, Chinny?
Well, sorry.
This is.
I
another-
actually am looking forward to hearing you talk about this.
This
sorry, I
is
don't know why.
another great game.
It
Can I
is,
just
isn't
say?
it? Not perfect.
Because
not
it's not perfect, but it's got a lot of the elements of Breath of the Wild. The more I play it, the more it's like that.
What game is
Because
it? What game is it?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Tsushima.
Because you're constantly distracted. Every time I'm on a mission to go somewhere, I must stop 15 times on the way there.
Yep.
Because there's shrines, there's meditation pools,
Foxes, little
there's
foxes.
foxes, there's treasure maps,
Mm-hmm.
there's
haikus,
god,
haikus.
there's haikus,
Mhm.
there's
Big
and
poos.
random encounters constantly. I'll be honest, that's probably the thing I do the least. The random encounters, because you don't get a lot out of them, and they get a bit irritating after a while.
And you hate helping people.
Well, quite sometimes it's just some soldiers on the road. It isn't even like someone who's been captured or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got some great side missions
Oh yeah.
that are more than just go do
Oh, yeah.
this and then it's done.
You meet characters on the main quest, and then that character that you meet on that main quest will be like, oh, I got a side mission. You think, oh, that's just going to be a little thing, and it's
Yeah.
like a whole fucking saga.
Well, there's two that I'm in the middle of at the moment. They're both in like 9 parts. It's like they're
Yeah.
on part 2 of 9 or whatever.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, Jesus.
Mhm.
And they've been really interesting as well. And it's really well written. And I love the dialogue's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I was a bit down on it last week. I was a bit like, I don't know
There's a
whether the
bit
story's
Debbie
that-
Downer on it. last
Yeah, I
week.
wasn't like, I don't know whether the story's that great. But the
You
more
was a
I'm
bit of a
playing it-
Sharon Shitter on it.
I was. But I'm going to text
I've never
her-
heard that expression before.
Sharon
Wow.
Shitter, I
Yeah.
like that. The more I'm
You're
playing
a bit
it,
of a Karen Kaka.
Karen Kaka, there you go. The more I'm playing it, the more I'm into it.
Use a bit of
Because
a
I-
Claire the. No,
I
I won't do
am.
it. I won't do it. I won't do that.
And everything, like all the shrines, the foxes, the pools, the meditating, all that stuff
Yeah.
does something.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of it's just for the sake of doing it. Everything adds something
Yeah,
to
adds
your
something
character.
like it like heals you or adds something
Yeah,
to you, and
gives you more health,
I just
or it
think
gives you
the
this,
game-
or
Makes
it
your
gives you
wiener
that,
bigger.
it makes you
makes
win a
your
bit.
wiener bigger.
The game, it just has a good vibe about it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's just you play it and you really sort of, it's a very violent game, but it's got lots of moments of just cool lo-fi, just zen stuff, and I love it for that.
you see, I've just had a great moment in it because he's very honourable. You know what I mean? He's all about the honour. He's all about facing enemies head on. He's not about sneaking around and stealthing or any of that shit. And obviously, I've just had a story beat where all that shit goes out the window. You know what I mean? You have to do something where, and do you know what I really liked about it? This is gonna sound awful because it's a really weird thing to say.
You get to
but-
cut people's heads off.
Well, the first stealth you do is proper graphic.
Yeah.
It ain't just you know normally stealth kills in these games you just sneak up behind someone and cut the throat and that's it, isn't it?
which is pretty
Yeah.
graphic.
Which is pretty
That is
graphic.
graphic.
But this, you go up, stab him in the side of the neck, right? Obviously, guy's gurgling. Then you sort of rip it out. You like struggle with him to the floor, and then you just stabbing and stabbing and stabbing him in the belly and the side, right? And then he's still not fully dead. And he's
Now, keep in mind, this is the man who said, "I'm not going to watch Sledgehammer because it's about police brutality." And oh my God, that's so distasteful.
No, I asked how it could be funny. That's different.
Yeah, but and you're chuckling while you're describing dragging a man
I
who's
know.
gurgling and
I
half
know.
dead
It
to the
is.
ground.
It is a bit of a comedy game, to be fair.
It's
I
totally
believe
gone.
it.
No,
Trust
I
me.
think I'm.
I know what I'm doing.
I don't know. It's just so brutal, right? And he's like lying on the floor gurgling, and you can just see in his face like he didn't want to do it.
Sounds great.
But yeah,
Oh, for fuck's sake, Stu! Like, you don't want to get a
Oh my
mic and a
God.
headset that works.
Stu's gone. Stu's.
Look at the
How
screen.
long do you reckon?
All right, let's just.
Let me
see.
just
I
think.
don't know,
Let me
just-
pretend I can lip read.
Okay, okay.
And then I played the game, and I was like, "Oh my god, this mate." He's still going. "Oh my god!" And I was like, "This game is brilliant." And then I had a poo, and I thought it was all right. He's realised. He's realised. He's proper pissed off.
Get
He's so
it
pissed off.
sorted.
It's obviously something on his end, isn't it? Surely.
It's something, I don't know.
Oh,
I burnt the brisket.
Do you know what? No idea what's causing this. It's only been started doing it recently. So whether it was something to do with an update, I have no
it's
idea.
got to be your end because it happens to no one else.
It only does it though in Zoom, but like my microphone or my headphones work perfectly well if I'm playing a game. They never cut out or anything.
Are either of them Bluetooth?
No, they're both
No,
wired.
they're wired in. I can see them.
Yeah, both completely wired.
Maybe buy a new PC like from scratch.
No, I don't think so.
this little
We
problem.
need like a system, Stu, of when it
I don't-
happens.
I don't think it helps that it's so random.
We need a
course
system for like Duke's trying to fix it. I'm trying to come up with a temporary fix where
Yeah.
when it happens, we need some sort of like, brr, like some sort of like, hey, text you or something. I don't know. You gotta like look out
Yeah,
for
we can
it.
text him.
Oh,
Don't know. There's got to be something because I do notice obviously quite quickly that time, but I'm
you've been
jabbering
going for
on.
that was 2 hours ago, Stu.
But there's obviously got to be there is something, some reason why he just keeps cutting out, and I can't. I mean, I can't see anything in the settings that could affect it.
You have any other programs running besides Zoom?
No, nothing that affects audio.
Is
I
there
mean,
anything
apart-
that could like override the microphone?
The only
Yeah,
thing
that's
that
what
it could do is Discord in the background, so I can
Switch
turn
that off, yeah,
Discord.
turn
Yeah,
I'm-
Discord has done that to me in the past.
Yeah, I'm wondering if
Discord is a
it's that.
dirty little bastard.
Yeah, maybe
it's a
Discord.
mic hog. It wants to have access to the audio.
Me. Try and turn that off, Stu, and we'll see how we go.
Yeah, you see,
without- and-
before the weirdest thing is as well that before it was just a headset that cut off. This time it cut both off because I couldn't hear or speak to you. It just cut them both off. And to fix it, you literally just switch onto another source and switch it back. again. And
Kevin in the chat
Yeah,
says,
I think
did you
Discord is a
close?
good
Did you
guess.
close Pornhub? Did that get closed?
I've closed Pornhub.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
that might have been it.
Thank
that
God.
might have been it.
Speaking of which, we watched a movie called Film 43 or some movie 43, something like that.
No, don't talk about that, please.
It was funny.
No, it's
I
not.
liked it.
It's not.
Do you
Hugh
know what
Jackman
we
with a pair of
watched?
bollocks on his chin. Are you fucking joking, mate?
It was so stupid for like 30
No.
seconds. Then they kept going, and I was just like, okay,
No,
move on.
it's a terrible
But then
film.
other sketches were actually, I mean, it was hit and miss because it's a collection of stuff.
It was
But
miss
the
and
one with
miss.
Stephen Merchant and Halle Berry was like,
I
that was
can't
pretty
remember
good.
it, but it was miss and miss. It was like I wish I was dead when I
The
watched
Duchess
that.
is with you. She was like, and
my
I was
God.
like, I was laughing a lot despite myself. So
Stu, let's go back to
Oh,
Ghost of.
you got Pornhub closed.
You got
I've got
closed. You
Pornhub
got Discord closed.
closed.
You were
I've got
saying
Discord closed.
you were saying stuff, and I'd love to tell you what you were saying, but I couldn't hear you, Stu. So you're gonna have to just.
No,
talk
really,
in
it was
your
that bad. Yeah, what I was saying was how good
Mhm.
Ghost of Tsushima is. Did you? I got as far as the stabbing the dude in the face.
Yeah, yeah, we
Yes,
got all
got
that.
over
Yeah,
the
yeah, we got all the
stabbing him
stabbing.
dead.
We
He
got
didn't
all
want to
the
do
stuff.
it.
He didn't want
Yep.
to do
The
it.
stabbing, and yeah, I feel like did you hear the bit about where I said I don't think he's very good at it because it's not
No.
something he normally does? Yeah, I don't know whether that's done on purpose, but I do feel like part of him being crap at like the first stealth kill he does is because it's not his jam. You know what I mean? He's used to being face to face ninja shit. He's not.
Yeah, well,
normally-
that's the thing, isn't it? I think that comes up in the
Damn right
story,
anymore.
doesn't it? It's like, oh, I don't like sneaking around, and the woman's like, well, you got to do what you got to do, bitch.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is though, when he kills that guy, and he doesn't, it's not clean, is it? He doesn't kill him outright first go. It's kind of kills him, then stabs him, and then he's still not quite dead. You know what I mean? It's not like he does a bit of for a stealth kill. It's a bit of a crap job
It's a
at
messy,
it, isn't it?
messy kill.
It's a messy job.
Mm-hmm.
And I quite like that the skill tree helps with all that stuff. So, you know, it's obviously recognizes the fact that he's a bit crap at stealth kills because it's not his thing.
Yeah.
And I like the look on his face after he's done it. He looks like not happy that he's had
Not
to do it, but knows that he had to.
Yeah.
And I like the reason that he had to do it as well. I like how they handle that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, if you don't do this, they're going to kill all the prisoners. The minute they know you're here, they're going to kill the prisoners, regardless of what you do after that fact. You know, so it almost gives him this no-win situation. He either goes against his honor, which he obviously doesn't want to do, or he does stealth kills to save the prisoners. You know what I mean? So
It's
he
like
has
Ghost Dog.
Yeah, it's kind of a no choice.
That movie's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. By the way, talking of movies, we did watch Long Legs. Have you seen this?
No.
Long
You don't
Legs.
skip a page on this podcast. Like, what happened?
I don't know.
I look. Ghost Dog is a movie about a modern day samurai facing an
Oh,
ethical
okay.
dilemma
Right,
between
right.
his morals and success. I don't know what the fuck Stu's about to talk about. Go ahead.
What's your film
No,
talking about?
have you not seen Long Legs? Have you heard of this? Nicholas Cage
Long
movie?
legs. No.
So basically,
These guys got range.
it's been compared to Silence of the Lambs, right? This
Oh.
kind of FBI serial killer movie. Nicholas Cage is a serial killer.
It's modern.
It's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Okay.
We watched this last night, and I'm like, what the fuck have I just watched? It's definitely not another Silence of the Lambs, can I first of all say?
So, but Stu, did you go to the cinema to watch this?
Of course we did.
You went to the cinema, did you?
Yeah, actually, can I just say it's just
Why do
become
you ask?
available on streaming platforms.
What
just
streaming
say.
platform did you watch it on?
There's some video streaming plus or something.
Thief! Thief!
Let me just ring the police. Hang on one.
Thief!
They're coming round, Stu. They're coming round. Give me the address.
They're coming around.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Thanks, Kev.
It was wait. Look, do you know what? I'd be very upset if I got arrested for watching this.
I know.
'cause
You'd be pissed off. Wouldn't you?
I'd be like, really? But I mean, I'd probably be worse if it was the Borderlands.
Oh, I gotta
movie,
watch it on the
to be
mobile app. What is that? Sorry, go ahead.
honest. The Borderlands movie, which is meant to be trash. So, yeah, I'll probably be more upset about that.
All right, anyway, so
that's
back to
not a
Ghost of
video game.
Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima is a good game.
Yes.
Good game. Good game.
It's a bloody good game.
All right, that's
Oh,
good. We're good. It's
Oh,
a
the
good
puppy
game.
is so cute. Thank you, Kev. Your puppy
Kev's
is
got
adorable.
a puppy. Kev's got a puppy.
He's
Great.
so cute, this puppy.
Got a puppy.
Puppy.
Yes.
Puppy.
Right. Okay. Is it back to me?
Yeah, it's
Sure.
back to you. Oh, should we do the look? Because Chinny's only got play my game bit. Shall we talk about that?
I guess we should.
No, we do not.
Bitch, 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 bitch.
Yeah, bitch! Yeah, bitch!
Play my game, play my game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got to break a bad
Yeah, bitch!
This is the part of the show where we all talk about the same game that we played. And unfortunately, we didn't pick a game last week. So we really don't have anything to talk about.
No, we didn't.
I'm kidding. We picked a game, and
Oh,
it's
no.
from the same people who made that other game.
Oh, thank God you've answered.
Yeah, thank goodness you're here. So
Right.
this-
Thank goodness you're here.
Thank
Now, when
goodness
I
you're
hear
here.
"Thank goodness you're here," I think of Milton Fludgecow, who is this guy who did a whole bunch of prank phone calls. And every time somebody picks up the phone in his prank calls, he responds by saying,
Oh, thank God you've answered.
so.
Similar.
That's why I played that sound clip.
Similar, but yes, thank goodness you're here. So
The game we
Yeah.
played is called The Good Time Garden.
Yeah, so these guys, can we just say, made a game that people absolutely love. You know, this thing's getting a lot of praise. I loved it. I've played and finished it and thought it was amazing.
You're talking about Thank God You're Here.
Yes, thank goodness you're here.
Right.
But prior to that, they made a free-to-play game. That was a little game that they obviously made.
Well, some of those words are accurate.
Yeah, game is hard.
is
to
free.
differ. It is free.
Yeah.
And it is short. It's only 15 minutes to finish it. So
It was a lot shorter for me.
I will bet it
Did you not
was.
even finish this, Ginny?
No.
It takes 15 minutes.
Oh my God, you quitter, man! God, how? I mean,
I went to the
15,
bird.
it was just 15
It's
minutes.
15 minutes.
Should have you didn't play it.
No, I did play it.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I got
bet you
to the
finished it.
bird, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this, man.
The first like puzzle. Okay, so for those who don't know, look, let me ask you a question, listeners.
Yeah, let's go through this.
Do you like seeing cartoon dinguses everywhere? Do you
Yeah,
like
there's
seeing
a lot of them.
nipples? Do you like having a character who just snots on things and smacks stuff? And what about like spraying sperm on things? Is that your idea of fun? Because if so,
I'm not sure if sperm
this is
comes
the
out of
game
his
for you.
mouth. I don't
Oh,
think he's-
well,
No, you're right, but at another
sperm's too
point-
much, Duke.
He
think that's a bit
smacks
much.
someone where it has these boils on them, and then sperm comes out of those. So I'm sorry, I didn't make clear what I was referring to here. But I mean, if you like seeing like butts and squishy, moist things that erupt in, what the fuck is? Oh my! And it's like overwhelmingly positive on Steam. Everybody's like, it's the most wacky, fun thing ever. Motherfucker, it's like Don't Starve. The first 10 minutes of Don't Starve, just bring this over here, take this over there. And then there's this like tumescent, bulbous thing that's and you just throw things in its mouth, and everything you throw in its mouth, it gives a close up on its eyes, and it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's loving
and then
it.
it
It's
lifts a
loving it.
leg, and then you go get something else and feed it to it.
Yeah, it's pretty
Game
much
of the year.
game.
Oh my, it's so brilliant. I hope these people make a 3-hour game.
And
next.
don't forget, you have to bang the titties. You have to smack the titties.
Oh my god.
There's two tits sticking out of the ground, and you keep smacking them until it turns out to be two people.
Let me say something
tits on their
positive about
heads.
this game. To be fair, the design has a good thing where anything that is a little darker is something you can interact with.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, it
that's
makes it
good
very
because
clear.
it would have been a lot more frustrating if you'd had to
Well,
wander around and try to figure out what you're supposed to interact
Can I
with.
just say, it'd probably been more frustrating had I not sent you the key binding, so you knew.
Well,
how to
I
actually
said, fuck
select-
this. I forgot you sent me the keybinds. So I was like, fuck this. Let's hope the controller's working. And it did. I was like, okay, fine. I'm
My
just gonna use the
controller wouldn't work. It was plugged in, but it
Well,
didn't
then
do
it's something
anything.
with your controller. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't do anything. So I knew it was using the keyboard. And I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't tell you the controls. There's no way of finding out the controls. I'm like, what the hell controls am I supposed to be using here?
Tits and wieners and sperm and snot. And at one point, you're leading this thing toward the mouth eating thing. And they're just, everyone, butthole, butthole, butthole. Like, game of the year.
Thank
It
God.
moved me on such a deep level.
I'll tell you what, thank goodness they made something good after this. It's all I'm saying.
This is not an inducement for me to play Thank God You Answered. Because after
No,
playing this,
thank
I'm like,
goodness
I don't
you're
want anything
here.
to do with this.
No, I'll be honest. It's the only.
This is nothing like it. Go ahead. I'm sure
The
this is nothing
only
like it.
the only similarity between these two games is a smacking thing.
And
That-
there's no way to understand anything about either of them.
no, thank goodness you're here. Makes a lot of sense, although it is still very surreal in places, but it is not
well,
on the
I-
same level as this
It-
in any way, shape, or form.
let me put it this way: if Thank God You Answered is here at $20, like new, how much is it new? 20?
I think it's $20, yeah.
Okay, so let's say it's 20 new, and I was thinking, all right, I'll get it when it's 10, maybe. Now I'm like, if it's $2 or free on the Epic Game Store, then I'll give it a shot. This dropped it down in terms of like mentally where it needs to be for me to, go get it.
No, it's
And just like,
the so poles apart. I mean, like I said, the
Well,
only,
I'm not taking any chances. They
The
had
only-
a chance to tell me who they were, and Maya Angelou said, when someone tells you who they are, believe them the first time. So I'm like, I'm not saying they're the same kind of game. I'm saying they're
not
the
the
same
same.
developers.
The mechanics are very similar. The mechanics are almost identical to that to that extent.
well.
pretty much everything else is totally different.
Fool me once, shame on you.
It's not going to fool you twice because it's thank goodness you're here.
'Cause I'm
It's-
not
it's
going near
like-
it until it's very, 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 very cheap.
It's very cheap, very, very, very cheap.
So
but
it's
yeah,
a big thumbs down for me on the Good Time Garden.
yeah. It just for me it just is what it is. It was just is what it is.
We
I
need a
guess.
thumbs up or a thumbs down here, Stu. There's no is what it is option for giving these games. a
Yeah,
review.
I'll be honest. For total weirdness, it's a thumbs down. Even I.
Wow, unanimity here on the show. How
Even
about
I
that?
think this game was too weird, even for me. Even for the 15 minutes I played it, it's just
Now we know there's two components of this little nickname we give certain things on this show. It's weird and
shit. Yeah, it is.
shit. Okay,
weird
thank you,
and
as long
shit.
as we all agree.
But
Yes, it is.
But I will give it some praise in so much as this then led to a Sublime game following it. So there you go. I will put that proviso in there. This game is shit, but it was followed by greatness. So there you go.
That is the opinion of one member of our show. He does not speak for all of us.
I do. I speak for everybody.
Okay, so should I talk about my last one
yeah,
real quick?
go for it. Go for
I
it.
didn't say
Yeah.
anything about the game.
Well,
Go ahead,
you-
Chinny.
you
Say
said you
something about the
didn't- You
game.
said you didn't
I only
play
want to
it.
say one thing. I did play
Okay.
it.
Go ahead.
I did play
Okay.
it.
He
I
played it until the he played
I
about
for
3
like
minutes.
4 minutes, yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, okay.
Stu,
Sorry, Chinny, go ahead.
you can
Yeah.
never,
No.
ever,
What?
ever, 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 ever,
Wow, that's a lot of evers.
ever
Ever.
It's like Chris
use,
Tucker on Friday.
use
Yes.
Steam reviews as your metric for anything anymore.
I didn't. I did. I purely.
No,
I'll
no,
be
no, no,
honest.
no, no. You're misunderstanding what
Never
I'm saying.
ever.
When we
Okay.
play a game and go, but it's got lots of positive reviews on Steam, and I'll forever will say, so did the Good Time Garden.
Good Time
It's
Garden.
very overwhelmingly
It's true.
positive, can we say?
And because you slap a few titties and feed a massive and you feed a massive testicle, everybody went, "Oh my god, it's so brilliant!" Right?
That's true.
That's
it does
all
not
it
always
takes.
take a lot to
Remember,
get the Steam crowd.
All you need for positive reviews on Steam is to feed a testicle, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's the best game I've ever played." So no longer can we use Steam as a bar of quality. Oh my god, everybody said it was great on
true.
Steam. It's over, Stu. You ruined
Okay.
it. It's done.
I'm sorry.
It's a thumbs down from me.
I thought you were going to say he can never pick the game for.
Yeah,
no,
that's what
I
I-
don't want that. But the one thing I did like is when he walked up, you saw his little butt, and I did like that.
He's like
And
his
then he
little
turns
butt.
around and you get to see his
You
schlong.
see his little dick as well, and his bollocks. But
Why do you want to see a little cartoon man's penis?
I just like his little bum. That's funny.
Why
isn't
do you
it?
want to see his butt?
It's funny. It's funny.
Why
Bums are
not?
funny.
Why
All
not?
right, well, hey, everyone has their own definition of funny, I guess.
Bums are funny.
Next week, should we play Atlas Fallen, Reign of Sand?
Do you know, I was literally just
Is
looking
that a
at
game?
right
Did you
now.
just say random
Yeah,
words
it just
from a
came out.
dictionary?
No, no,
or-
it looks
It's-
pretty good.
That's how they're coming up with game titles now, isn't it?
Fucking- Whatever
The
will
deep
SEO
sleep
better.
darkness wakes.
What's the game called?
Atlas Fallen, Reign of Sand.
Atlas
Yeah.
Fallen.
R-E-I-G-N.
Damn.
Get it? Reign, R-E-I-G-N.
Got it.
It's a combat RPG, action RPG.
Is it
Yeah.
a
Looks all right.
Souls-like? Is it going to be Souls?
No, I don't think it
No,
is.
I don't think it is.
No, I think it's just a bog standard action RPG for.
It says this is the ultimate version of Atlas Fallen, so maybe this game came out a little while ago. I don't
It
know.
came
Yeah.
out 2023. It came out a year ago. August.
Oh,
9th.
not that long ago then.
Let's try it. That's
Because
the
I've
game for
never
next
heard
week,
of
people.
it. Because I've never heard of it. I'm not hopeful.
Well, apparently on Steam it has some good reviews.
yeah.
Yeah, it's got good reviews. I haven't looked
Yeah.
actually.
Ever, Stu.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to call the show Ever.
Ever.
Never.
Don't ever come back here again.
Okay.
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 So there was a demo
Oh.
called Moving Out demo.
Moving
and I was like, I'll try this. Let's see what's going on with it. And it's really not for me. This is another. So now this is like a whole genre of games that's like, you can't move very easily. And it's just wacky because everything goes wrong when you can't move. Isn't it funny when your controls are
Oh,
shit?
I thought this was going to be a serious version, like unpacking. You know, like
It's not really like, the delivery service game that we played once upon a time. Like, it's not that bad in terms of like your legs don't work, but it's also not very fluid, and a lot of the game is about, like, it's very funny. I will give it credit for being amusing. The training thing you go through is like, you know, we pride ourselves as a moving company on being fast. We do not pride ourselves on keeping things from getting broken. So don't be afraid to chuck those TVs around. Stuff like that. Yeah. But, you know, there's this timer, and you got to get everything onto the moving van and, you know, make it fast. It's obviously meant to be played with 2 people at least. So you pick up a couch. If you're by yourself, you're kind of like dragging it by one end, and it's hard to maneuver through the doorway and stuff like that. But if you had 2 people, it'd be, you know, like actually moving, right? It'd be a lot easier with 2 people. So
we
you
played
know,
this, Stu. We played this. Did you know that?
Did you really play that? Was it a demo, or did you play it like?
I do not remember playing this.
We played this at the 2019 EGX.
Did we?
Wow. Okay.
Wowzers.
This game came out
And
in
what do you remember about it?
2020. I remember it being sort of like an overcooked, overcooked-like game. And I think at the time we were like, oh, that's got potential. That's
What's
all right.
that one you played where you had to do stuff on a plane? Did that ever come out?
A plane?
Yeah, it was like a bit like.
Was it like a spaceship, you mean? A spaceship?
No, there was some game you played which was like a bit of a joke game where one of the levels you were trying to. Were you trying to serve someone a meal on a plane
No,
or something?
I think
for a
you're talking
train?
about the one where you've got to date somebody. It's like a
Oh,
dating...
that was it. The
yeah.
dating one. Whatever happened to that?
I don't know.
Because you quite enjoyed that, didn't you? It's just reminded
Yeah.
me when you said EGX. I was
Yeah,
just like, ah,
but
funny
this we
games at
play. I'm
EGX.
sure we played this at EGX, Duke, and there's a second one as well. There's Moving Out 2, which came out last year as well. But from what I heard on the reviews on Steam, it says it's really good.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. Well, we can't trust
There you
those
go.
games.
I think
Anyway,
that's a
I'm glad I played it. You know, I
good
think it was part of
endorsement.
I think it was maybe the part of the Polish developer
Oh, okay.
festival on Steam or something.
Oh yeah.
But you know, it's cute. And I think again, it'd probably be a lot better with 2 people. But
Would you play
I
it
don't
co-op?
have any other people. No, I'm not gonna play co-op with.
Look, if somebody offered to play co-op with you, would you play?
Oh, would I? Nah, I'd rather play Once Human. Find me on Once Human, people. Let's
That's
team up
why
on
no
that.
one plays co-op with you.
I love Duke, but I ain't trying to play that shit.
Duke's like, no one will play with me. Would you want to play? No. No, I don't. That's why no one plays.
Yeah, well, that's the paradox of sociality, right? As when I'm hanging out with friends, I'm thinking, man, I wish I was playing video games. When I'm playing video games, like, I wish I was hanging out with friends.
Yeah, that's true.
there
Always
you
want
go.
what you don't have.
Mhm.
Oh.
It looks good. This game looks good. It's like she's packing a TV away. But this is fun.
Well, she's trying to throw it through the window onto the moving truck.
Yeah.
I quite like
Because
that.
you can do that with some stuff, but not all the stuff.
Yeah.
I like
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
Is
It's
it
cute.
only
Not for me.
2-player co-op, or is it like 4-player?
It's probably got possibilities for more than 2, but
Okay, I'll check now to see if it's co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what them reviews say on Steam. Is it
Oh,
mostly positive?
not see what it says.
Overwhelmingly
Maybe look on
positive?
Metacritic. I think Metacritic's a little more reliable.
Mm.
Although, what was I thinking? Metacritic was saying something over the time. I don't know.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Right. Okay. Is it time for an email or 2, do you think?
Oh, thank
Oh,
God.
news. We got news. No, Duke sent some news
Oh,
stories.
snap.
Let's
We got
go.
some news, baby.
Putting news first.
2 news articles here, people, for you.
Go.
Yeah, number 1. This is from Yahoo News. It's a very interesting article. Out of Japan, I think, was where the research was done. The headline from the Los Angeles Times is How a Dire Shortage of Video Game Consoles Helped to Prove That Gaming Boosts Mental Health. So in the early days of the COVID lockdown, this Japanese researcher was desperate to get his hands on a Nintendo Switch. And because it was so hard to get, he, an economist at Nihon University in Tokyo, realized that the Japanese had created a lottery system. The Japanese subsidiary of Nintendo created a lottery system to figure out who would get a Nintendo Switch when they were available in a way that was fair. So it's basically random, you know, if you, whatever. So he had a control group who wasn't able to get this Switch. And then it sort of shed light on, it was a natural experiment, and it shed light on a question that had been on his mind for years. Are video games actually detrimental to players' mental health? And he said, as a father, I've been wondering if this is true. And basically what he found out was that, according to his research, it did not that the people who had access to these games tended to have a better time coping with the pandemic than compared to people who didn't get a Switch. And he designed a questionnaire between 2020 and 2022. Nearly 100,000 people completed this man's survey, including 8,000 who took part in the video game lottery. More than a third of the lottery participants were considered hardcore gamer. It also gauged people's psychological well-being and distress, socioeconomic factors, age, sex, job, family structure, etc. After crunching all the numbers, the researchers found that purchasing either a Nintendo Switch or a Sony PlayStation 5 through a lottery led to measurable reductions in the recipient's psychological distress, and that possessing and playing with either device improved the owner's mental health.
There you go. I don't think, I'll be honest, I don't think that's a surprise to me at all. I don't think it is, and I think that video games
And now
do a good job of sort of helping with mental things as well as just. Do you know what I mean?
I think they can. I think it depends on how you play. And I think that I think that video games do help me in some ways, but they do have also the potential to make me more stressed and more frustrated and so forth.
I guess, but they also help. They're meant to help with your brain, sort of cognitive stuff as well, aren't they? To keep that sort of healthy.
Problem solving.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck won't this fucking roof go on this house in One's Human? That's a problem I have to solve on a regular basis.
Exactly.
What's wrong with my teammate in Rocket League? Why is he such an idiot? No, I know what you're saying, though. Yeah.
Do I have to throw into this veiny testicle?
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
Why should I keep playing this? Oh, wait, I shouldn't.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do think there can be some negatives to video game addiction, for instance, and obsessing over stuff.
Right. But that's true about anything. Like, you could drink
as
too much water and have it be unhealthy.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah. Absolutely, you can. And the other thing I'd like to say, while we're talking about COVID, I think video games in COVID were very helpful for me. Between playing a lot of flight simulator, streaming that online while during COVID, and that was cool because people were interacting, and I was just making crazy flights over here, there, and everywhere across the world. And also the poker nights we had during COVID, using the VR headset, were a huge benefit because it was something to look forward to. And it was like, and I used to say this, it's like going out, but you're staying in, it was like took us somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a way of breaking up the isolation. People were very isolated during that time, and it was video games, there was Zoom and there's, obviously, FaceTime and other technologies, but video games have a unique capacity to alleviate that sense of isolation while also having the potential to reinforce it. I think the important thing, again, for me, when it comes to my students, teenagers, it's tempting to come home from school and just go right to your room and just play video games all day. And I say that as someone who kind of comes home from school and just plays video games the rest of the day. But when you're a teenager, especially, it's important to be interacting with other humans. And
I think it's got to be a balance, hasn't it?
It does have to be a balance. And so I think the games that are designed to be addictive and like never get you, you don't take a break, you end up with that deep vein thrombosis, which is why it's important to play mindfully and remember that the games are an accent to life. They're not the focus of life itself.
Yeah, it's just something that it's like anything. Anything done in moderation is normally fine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just
like
don't
cocaine.
Go crazy.
Exactly. A little bit of coke here and there.
A little
Just
bit of coke.
Even when I'm on a day off where I could quite easily sit there and just play video games. Yeah, use cocaine and play video games all day long without a problem. I could quite easily sit there all day, and Kay wouldn't say anything because she's upstairs, so I could just sit there all day and do
cocaine upstairs.
And very occasionally I do that, very occasionally I will sit there and just play games all day.
Well, again, like one day every once in a while to just, do nothing productive is fine.
But then what I tend to do is I'll play maybe a couple of hours in the morning, then I'll go out for a bike ride or I'll go out for a walk. You know what I mean? So I kind of break up the day, and I've probably played then another couple of hours in the afternoon.
Jane Austen novel,
also I might read for a bit. I do read quite a lot, so I might read for a bit. I do lots of stuff. I try and
we
keep
believe
active.
you, Stu.
It's true. It's totally true.
I believe you. You don't need to lie.
Big head like this bookie.
All right, one more news story real quick.
I've got news, by the way.
Oh, Chini's got news too. It's a news.
Okay, so let me get through this, and then I'll hand it over. The boss of Amazon Games, what's his name? The CEO, Christoph Hartmann, was interviewed by IGN this week, and he was asked about AI having the potential to hurt the people who do voice acting for video games. And here's what he said, all right? Here's the quote.
This guy's a doofus.
Yes. It's going to shorten the life cycle for games, yada, yada, yada. And I've got to be careful. We're a big company. We have to deal with all these different organizations, including SAG-AFTRA, which is the union. When we talk about AI, it will help us to have new gameplay ideas, which has nothing to do with taking work away from anyone, especially for games. We don't really have acting. The majority of the team sits in programming. That's not going to go away because that's all about innovation. What a fucking... And today, the Duchess gave me this from the newspaper. It's a news article about SAG-AFTRA actors, and it starts with this dude who, for hours, motion capture sensors tacked onto Noshir Dalal's body tracked his movements as he unleashed aerial strikes, overhead blows, and single-handed attacks that would later show up in a video game. He swung his sledgehammer so many times he tore a tendon in his forearm, and by the end of the day, he couldn't pull the handle of his car door open. So this is why workers need unions when they're doing mocap and voice acting and whatnot. And fuck you, Amazon. God, it makes me want to never buy another game.
I think less about the unionization thing, but more about how ignorant he is of. He's obviously never played a video game with a story in it. He's never played an Uncharted game or a Last of Us game or even like a Senua's Sacrifice or a Senua's Saga. You know what I mean? These games that have really excellent mocap and voice acting in them.
Or he doesn't appreciate the work, the human work that goes into it, because he doesn't see that work.
No, no idea. I mean, some of the voice acting recently in story-driven games I've played has been nothing short of as like on a par with a really good movie acting.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? He has obviously no idea, and I know that that's a minority of video games because we know a lot of them aren't as great as that. But the AAAs, the big video games, have superb voice acting. Like every character in the game plays an amazing part. It's just...
And those actors deserve to be compensated for their work,
Absolutely
and not to have their work pillaged and sucked dry in order to feed the AI machine that's going to replace them.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, let's be honest, and I know that you're sort of hating on Good Time Garden, but thank goodness you're here. Wouldn't be that video game without those Yorkshire and Yorkshire voice actors that did all the voices for that game.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I assume I don't play that, but yeah, Chinny, any thoughts about the bonehead CEO of Amazon Games?
Well, it's just all games are just Fortnite, aren't they? I don't know what you're complaining about.
Exactly.
Who cares?
Okay.
All right,
I think that's the trouble here.
What was your story you got there, Chinny?
Well, there's been a big event on in the video gaming world.
That's right. There are this week.
I don't know. Gamescom? Okay.
Gamescom.
I missed this.
It's in Germany. It's every year. Big thing.
Big reveals. Big reveals, people.
250,000 people turn up to it. Big deal. Right. Bigger than E3. Borderlands 4 got announced.
I liked 3.
Somebody has to. Black Ops 6, that's not very interesting. Goat Simulator Remastered.
God.
I'm just going to read through these. We don't
Can
need
I just
comments.
say, did you watch the
We
Goat
get comments on some
Simulator?
of them.
Goat
that's
Simulator
what we do.
Remastered. It looked fucking weird. It's
a weird game. It's a weird game.
They're such
It
weird
looked
games.
exactly the same. It's like, why is that a new thing?
Cash grab, that's why.
There's a game called King of Meat, which is basically a Fall Guys rip-off. Oh, one for you, Stu. Lost Records Bloom and Rage. Have you heard of this game?
I haven't, no.
This is a brand new game for Lost Records Bloom and Rage. Don't nod Montreal's definitely not Life is Stranger-like game.
All right, okay. That sounds interesting. I'm interested now. I'm in.
Lost Records Bloom and Rage. I'll let you find that in your own time.
Okay, I'll have a look.
The other stuff. I'm skimming through.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
We are bearing with you.
There's some sort of game called, I don't know. You'd like this game, but I've already past it.
Armor sent me an interesting looking game actually.
Go on.
Which I thought looked pretty good from Gamescom, called Atomfall. Have you seen this?
No.
It's basically Fallout set in the Lake District.
Right. Okay. No.
It it looked pretty cool, Atomfall. I must admit, I was like, yeah, I like the look of that. It looked very pretty, interesting, thatched cottages, and
Yeah.
you know, nuclear war.
So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was there's it's not a game, but it is about video games that was announced at Gamescom, and it's called Secret Level. Have you heard about this?
I haven't.
So Secret Level is an anthology TV show, created by the people that made Love and Robots, I think it's called. That's like an anime CGI show. It's all 3D. It's very cool.
Okay.
And it's an anthology show. So Secret Level is a show, and every episode is based on a video game.
Oh no, I have seen this. No, I have seen this.
There's
It looks really
episode-
cool.
There's one based on the Outer Worlds, just based in that universe. There's one on Mega Man. There's a few others on different properties, and yeah. So it's just a TV show that will come out, and each episode will be based on, oh look, this is the Mega Man episode, and it's just going to be.
But
like
it's not. You see, I thought it was going to be like a documentary. This is how.
No,
it's
no,
not.
it's a
No,
story.
It's an
It's a
actual
story.
story. Yeah.
But if you
it's
watch
not
Optional
fictional.
stories, not probably including Mega Man himself, maybe.
Yeah,
but
no, it will. Yeah.
it will have Mega Man.
Probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, for example, like Outer Worlds, am I heavily invested in the lore of Outer Worlds? No, but will I watch like a little short story based on that world? Yeah, like I'd love to. So what I know about Love and Robots is, I think it's called Love, Death and Robots. I'm not sure why they call it Love and Robots. Anyway, the CGI is like incredible, but I heard the story isn't the best in that show. But the CGI is unbelievable. It's like it's some of the best stuff you'll ever see. So I'm excited about that. That should be good.
All right.
But there's something else that happened at Gamescom, Stu.
Yeah.
And Peter Molyneux is back.
Yeah, I
Nice.
saw that. Oh my God.
Oh yeah,
What
what's
the
he back with?
what?
I didn't see
So,
this. Go on.
Peter
enlighten
Molyneux
me.
has returned from the midst of video game development. Now, he made a game. His last time people heard of him, because people sort of got sick of Peter Molyneux, didn't they? Because he was talking about
Yes.
cubes and tapping and
The
shit.
top comments on the Reddit thread were all like, "Oh, would you go away, Peter?"
Yeah. He's kind of like this, like, just insane old man that just won't stop. So he's announced a game.
When do we start talking about Donald Trump?
He's announced a game called Masters of Albion.
Oh,
Nothing to do with
okay.
Fable. Nothing to do
Although
with
it's
Nothing
got
to do with-
Albion in the title,
Yeah.
but nothing to do with Fable.
Nothing to do with Fable. It's more of a mishmash of other games that he's done. So the Black and White, I think is it God
Right.
Hand and stuff that he did
It's
before.
nothing to do with Albion
Populous.
Online either.
So it's a bit of a mash
Populous.
of that. But
Dungeon
some-
Keeper was Dungeon Keeper one of
I
his.
don't know. But some people, yes, Dungeon Keeper, it says as well on this list.
Yeah.
Some people have said that this was the game that he was working on that had a lot of NFTs in it. But then NFTs failed, so he's like, no, jokes, this is the game. So he's back, and he had a little conversation with Jeff Keighley on stage, so we'll look forward to that. And he's still the same. Joe
Joe will look forward to it.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that. There's a Squid Game coming out, which is fun, I suppose. There's a few other things, some boring stuff. Indiana Jones had another thing.
Indiana Jones had another live
here we
demo,
go.
didn't it? That
This is
demo.
the last thing I'll talk about.
Go on.
There's a new Mafia game announced. Lovely.
Yeah, I saw
game.
this. It looked pretty good.
The
It looked
Old
pretty
Country, it's called. So it's going back to Sicily.
Sicily.
And it's the Old Country. So count me in. I'm in for that.
Yeah,
shit.
I love Mafia games.
Love
I'm
it.
ready. I
Love
am
it.
ready for another Mafia game.
Maybe we need to do a Play More Game Bitch with the Mafia series, eh? I don't know.
You mean, does it hold up?
the first Mafia we played not that long ago. I didn't
Not
think
that
about
long
this
ago.
because that's just been released on Game Pass, hasn't it?
I would happily play that against you.
I would.
It's
such
not
a
very
great
long.
game.
It's not very long.
No, it isn't. But we could
the-
definitely do Mafia 2 again
Yeah,
because I've
I
not
think-
played that for a long time.
Yeah, I'm here, but yeah, we got to do the trilogy though. I don't know when 3 came out. I think it was
I never
2016.
played 3 because I didn't like the setting and it just didn't capture
Oh,
me.
you
in
hate
the same
Louisiana,
way.
huh?
Well, it doesn't feel like Mafia, does it? You know what I mean? Mafia to me is like Mafia.
Italian.
Yeah, that came out in 2016. So I've played Mafia 3, and I'm not sure I'd want to play it again. To be honest,
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
So we'll talk about that one, Stu. We're not going to.
They went too far away. They went too far away from Mafia's.
We've got plenty of
central
time,
goal.
Stu, because this isn't going to be coming out for a while.
No,
so
no.
there's
It's
no
not
need
coming out for a
to worry about it yet. So
Yeah, we don't
Mafia-
need to rush.
No,
No need to rush.
and that there were other things. There's other stuff, but those are the sort of headlines that I took out of it.
No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, we have got just one email, really, actually.
Just
Aw.
one.
Just one.
Whoa, that ruled.
That ruled.
Now, Jason has sent 2 emails this week, but I'm only going to read one, and I'll read his because they're both big ones. So I'll read the
Yeah,
most
Jason
recent
always
one.
sends us big ones.
Okay, he says
yeah, big
pertinent
ones.
pertinent facts before I ban myself.
Okay.
Some believe there is nothing one man or one woman can do against the enormous array of the world's ills. Yet many of the world's great movements of thought and action have flowed from the work of a single man or woman. So there you go. That's some quote for you, I think.
Was that the email?
It's the start of it. Are you waiting for us to respond or?
Nope, I'm going to carry on.
Okay.
Okay.
This could enrage Duke. I don't know about any of this stuff, but I feel like he's not gonna like it. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
I'll try to keep my cool.
RFK Senior.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
See, I knew.
Well, that lasted long.
It didn't last long. RFK Senior wasn't being sexist here, acknowledging the work of a single man. If you listen to the entire speech, you will recognize the diversity included in capital letters.
RFK Senior. I don't remember him being accused of being sexist.
Reminds me of the Black Myth video game. See, this is where he's
Okay.
going with this.
There
Play the whole thing before you cry lack of inclusivity. It's loaded with diverse species. Laughing faces. Email wherein I ban Duke, a beautiful one too. Stu, perfect brushstrokes. Chinny. I'm not calling for a ban on the radical activist on your show. I'm calling for a ban on Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
What a twerking shit show that is. The preview looked like a Harris campaign rally. And I'm not joking, look it up. Megan Thee Stallion twerking at the presidential Harris campaign rally. What the fuck has this world become? Question mark.
Why is that upsetting?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what the man's saying. He says he has put
No,
a
I'm
laughing
asking why he's upset.
He's
by
put a laughing face
Megan Thee
after that.
Stallion twerking. Yeah.
I don't, Megan she doesn't
I
stop
think-
twerking. She was twerking on the She-Hulk show.
Yeah.
She's twerking at the
Lizzo did a TED talk where she talks about the origins of twerking coming from like folk dances in Western Africa. I don't know if that's
I
true
don't know
or
anything
not,
about that, but has Megan Thee Stallion got some sort of condition where she can't stop doing it?
Maybe
Well,
she
I
just
mean,
does it.
she gets love when she does, so she does what gets her love. I
Does
think.
she?
Which is
Did
what
they
every
force her
celebrity
onto the
does.
She-Hulk
I
show and
think-
say twerk again, Megan? Twerk.
No, I think she's like, what do people know me as? Like, okay, I'm the woman who goes out and twerks.
Is that what you
'Cause I'm
want to be
good at
known as,
dancing.
Megan Thee Stallion?
Megan the twerking
Well, she's
stallion.
also a rapper, and she's.
I'd
you
rather
know,
be known for that, though.
Performer, entertainer. Well, but it doesn't have to be either or. Like a lot of women are trying to capitalize on the idea that I'm going to have talent and show off my talent, but also have fun and dance and be a sexual being.
I was just
as
gonna
well.
say, is twerking showing off your talent? I don't know.
It definitely
Well,
is.
I
It
can't do
definitely-
it.
It definitely does show off the talent.
It's showing off a talent. Anyway, he said
It's a kind of dancing. Like people dance. That's what happens when you're in
Okay.
a good mood. Is you dance. That's what I do when I'm in a good
Get it
mood. I
out.
dance.
So-
I don't want it
when-
in my politics, and I don't want it in my Grand Theft Auto.
Can I just say?
guess
Can I
not.
just ask a question? Can
I,
say-
I don't care, by the way.
So, if a bloke's on the dance floor thrutching, is that okay too?
Yeah.
bit of fruit.
I think
you know what
I
mean?
think it all depends on context. I understand that Jason's attitude, if I could try to extrapolate and guess at what he's trying to say, is that political events ought to be a little more dignified than having people shake their booties in the same way that they would on the dance floor at the club.
So,
And if he's saying that, I can understand where he's coming from with that. However, I would argue maybe Mexico sending rapists and murderers is also a little undignified, and sending out AI images of Taylor Swift talking about you should vote for Donald Trump and then going, I don't know where that came from. That's undignified too. So let's not be, picking and choosing what's undignified in politics today.
anyway, he says
The gloves
he
are
says-
off. The gloves are off in the political race.
he does explain himself.
The gloves
Okay,
are off
go ahead.
and the thongs are on.
He says,
Okay.
I'm also calling for a ban on the Harris campaign, not because I dislike twerking,
Okay.
I like
But
twerking. I
because-
like watching twerking.
but because I'm against war.
Oh yeah.
I understand how a woman of colour, as POTUS, would be incredible for diversity, but wars through, though, kind of a big deal to me personally.
WARS?
As in a war, yeah,
Wars?
as in wars.
He thinks that
think
it's more likely we'll get into a war with Harris than other candidates?
Well, he says RFK Jr. is an intelligent speaker against war.
Oh, stop it. Just stop right right there. Brainworm, dead baby cub in Central Park. Come on. Vaccinations
know
cause
nothing
autism.
about-
No.
I know nothing
I'm
about
not
it.
going to abide any defense of RFK Jr. The man is a psychopath. John Oliver did a total takedown of him like 3 weeks ago. Go watch that. He brought all the receipts. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never heard of this guy until today.
So
So.
RFK Jr. is an intelligent speaker against war, is for healthy foods, against big pharmaceutical companies, and even though he had to endorse Trump, he very much can't stand him.
Well, then why is he endorsing? No, bullshit.
Look, I don't know
I'm
anything
very much
about this
opposed.
stuff.
I'm very much opposed to people dying of starvation. But on the other hand, it's funny when the kid's doubled over, clutching his stomach because he has nothing to eat. Come on.
The Democrats assassinated Kennedy's chances as the candidate. He
What?
had no choice. Harris
He
is
had
a
no
puppet.
chance, is what you mean. He never had a chance. He was never polling above like 1%, and now you're claiming here's what he's saying. Oh God, I have to try to read his mind. Here's what he's saying. Look, okay, when this always happens, it's not unique to the Democrats. Where's the criticism of the Republicans assassinating Nikki Haley's chances? Here's what happened. Here's what he's trying to say, if I may be so bold. When the primaries were happening to try to decide who was going to be the Democratic candidate for president at the start of this year, basically everything went to Biden, because that's what happens when there's an incumbent in the House, right? So everybody said it's going to be Biden, it's going to be Biden, it's going to be Biden. There was no process, there were no debates, there was no open discussion about who ought to be the Democrat candidate. And so RFK Jr. said, I should have had a chance. And I'm not making fun of the way he speaks. I don't have any beef with that. He's got some condition that makes him talk weird, whatever. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But he's a sniveling child. So that's why I did that voice for him. And now he's claiming, oh, it was a coronation for Biden. And now it's a coronation for Harris. Bullshit. It's the way parties choose their candidates when there's an incumbent. Go on.
So, okay, just to reiterate, he says the Democrats assassinated Kennedy's chances as a candidate. He had no choice. Harris is a puppet for the end times, and Trump is a blue nutsack that hopefully will be neutered and controlled by his latest big endorser, RFK Jr. Oh.
What I should do is not take this seriously. I should just laugh and go, ha ha, what Jason, am I right? Like, what the heck? But if there's any shred of truth to Jason saying Trump's going to be what? Held back?
He's going to be neutered. He's going to be neutered.
He's going to be neutered. What has ever kept Trump from being Trump? Nothing and nobody. The end. It's never going to be different. He's just going to try to clutch more power and go after your birth control and demonize more immigrants and break up families and cause suffering. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, he continues. Oh, and I understand Duke can't stand RFK, and he thinks Harris is the golden child.
When did I say that?
But there aren't any truly golden candidates amongst us.
No, there
We're
aren't. That's
We're
true.
just not that diverse yet, and we need more sane activists. Stay
I see
golden
what you're doing
veterans.
there in terms of like just repeating diversity and talking about it's just a talking point and it's not a thing we ought to be striving for as a civilization, but it is. I never said Harris was a golden child. If anybody were to ask me my opinion about her, I would tell you, but that hasn't happened. So go on.
He says, "Stay golden veterans."
And it won't.
And it won't. Certainly not on this show.
Wukong forever.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Hey,
I'm joking. Laughing face.
Okay.
I'm sure it's a great game, but personally, I've never really cared for things that made in China. Not to be prejudiced.
Now you're
and
talking about
nothing-
once human, and we're gonna have to fight.
Not to be
Fuck you up.
prejudiced, and nothing against the hardworking devs team they have there. I hope they aren't sexist fat shamers. I'm not playing it now. I'll wait until it's $10, and that way I'm not fully supporting something that could possibly be created by flawed human beings. I only partake in video games made by Jesus, like GTA, the most sexist bullshit ever created. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Laughing face, laughing face. If you don't know me by now, laughing face, laughing face. There you go. That's
I'm sure he writes these emails in his dreams, you know.
Do you know what, though? They are becoming more coherent, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they're a bit more ranty.
Yeah, they are.
And
Yeah.
in support of RFK Jr., I'm sorry, Jason. I love you, dude. I have a lot of respect for your creativity and your ability to sculpt unusual wordscapes. But RFK Jr. is a fucking psychopath, dude. Come on.
I don't even. What does RFK stand for? Who is this guy?
He is the son of Robert F. Kennedy, who was the brother of John
okay.
Fitzgerald Kennedy, who was the president of the United States, who was assassinated in 1963.
Okay.
RFK was assassinated in 68, I think. And that family is well known for being sort of on the left side of the political spectrum, fighting for social justice, demanding the rights of women and, evolution of society. RFK Jr. started off as an environmental activist and lawyer fighting against corporations doing horrible damage to the environment. And then about 3, 4, 5 years ago, he said, well, the big problem is people getting autism from vaccines, so I'm going to devote my life to stopping that.
Oh,
and then
good.
people said, that's not a thing that happens. It's been discredited over and over again. And he's like, well, that's just what they want you to believe.
Is this the MMR thing then that we have in this
Yes.
country? MMR. Yeah, do you know we've had outbreaks of stuff as a result of
Oh,
people
yeah.
not
Oh, yeah.
vaccinating against other things.
Yes, easily curable diseases. And it's not
Yeah.
just your kids you're putting at risk if you don't vaccinate them. There are other people who can't get the vaccines, and there's
Yeah.
herd immunity that comes about because of this. So this willful ignorance, this refusal to accept the fact that we all have a part to play in keeping each other healthy, it goes out the window, and it's, I'm going to believe this disgraced scientist over the consensus of the medical field.
But we've had quite a few outbreaks of measles, not so much mumps and
Yes.
rubella, but obviously
Sure.
like German measles, but
Sure.
measles.
They're talking about smallpox coming back in this
Yeah.
country, for fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
And then we've got this monkeypox thing happening everywhere, haven't we? Right.
Yeah, well, it's Mpox now because monkeypox
Yeah,
had a
yeah,
weird association, but yeah.
Yeah. So Mpox, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jason. I think.
Thank you, Jason.
Okay.
It's always an interesting glimpse into a very interesting mind.
It is. It is. We have got a speak pipe from Saint Diesel.
Speak back.
Pipe, it's the way to leave a message
it's
for
crap.
us.
All right, Saint Diesel, a thing of the past.
Hey, veteran gamers, it's Saint Diesel back again. I've been watching a few videos online this week regarding the new Nintendo Museum, which is opening in the first week of October.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a video online featuring Shigeru Miyamoto, who takes you through lots of the museum exhibits. It all looks very bright and colourful, very interesting. Lots of visual and audio stimulation, as you might expect from Nintendo. And I got to thinking in general about museums. I think in a post-COVID world, it's probably not one of the first places people think of to go for a day out or to take their kids to. I think a lot of museums have, at least in the past, had a reputation for being a bit stuck in their ways, maybe not that interesting for the younger generation. But I just thought, have you been to a museum recently? Have you ever been to a museum? And if you have, what was the last one you went to? And the last one I went to was the Hancock Natural History Museum here in Newcastle upon Tyne. It's been around for quite a long time, and it's had lots done to it in the last 10 to 15 years to drag it into the 21st century. And I just thought about Chinny, your daughter. Have you ever thought maybe you might take her to a museum at some point, a physical visit? Or is that something you haven't really thought about yet? So that's my question, really. Do you think there is a future for the physical museum, and what form would it be?
Interesting.
Chinny, go.
Chinny,
no,
go.
I haven't really thought about taking Rosa to anything like that. It's just, we're just surviving. That's what I said to Tara today. I was like,
We're just surviving.
We're just surviving. Like,
What?
I was on
Day
the
at a time, man.
I was just lying on the floor while Rosa was just crawling all over me, having the time of her life. I'm like, oh my god.
Awesome.
No,
You're just clinging on with your
just clinging
fingernails.
on. No, I mean, maybe I'll take her to a museum. I've heard about this museum in the Nintendo Museum. I've heard about this, but no, there's no plan yet. It's going to be like there's like farms and animals and things that I'll take her to before then. The last museum that I went to was the American Museum of Natural History in New York City.
New York.
Which is which is a very good museum, very cool. But it'd be tough to drag a child there any younger than 5. I think they would just not be interested. So, yeah,
There's a place in San Francisco called the Exploratorium. I think that might be cool for a
I've heard.
child.
I haven't been, but I've seen it. I've been
Very
close.
hands-on stuff. If anybody's
One of the first places we ever took Millie to was Jodrell Bank, which she
Is that a
found.
museum?
Yeah, it's kind of a museum, but it's also where they have a huge radio telescope in the UK.
Ooh,
Gotcha.
So
I
it's
know
super
where
cool.
that is. I know where that is.
So it's
only
super cool.
nerds are into space.
Yeah, she loved it though because
Space
obviously
is
they have like one of those things where you see stars on the roof and whatever they're called. I can't remember. And they had the coolest ever. You know the tin can thing where you have a tin can with a string in between.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're talking to it, you can hear it at the other end. They had like this really sciencey version of that across this massive area, and you could talk into this thing, and you could hear it right at the other side as clear as it was. Like,
Well, Chinny had in one of his videos is there was a little shell thing, and then
that was in San Francisco. So it's
across the street,
two seats in San Francisco near
and the
piers.
design of it makes
yeah,
the audio.
the way you sit in the chairs and you can hear each other even though you're really far away. It's very cool.
Yeah, that's what this did. It was very cool. So she loved that. And then the other thing I took her to she wasn't probably very old when we took her there, probably about 5 or 6. So she wasn't very old, but it was engaging enough for her. And they had loads of stuff for interactive for kids and things. Other museums we've been to a few. We went to a nuclear bunker in York, and that was really cool as well. So that was super interesting. But that's not that long ago. She was probably about 13, 14 when we took her there. So she was quite. But when she was about 7, I took her to the Body Worlds exhibition.
Oh yeah.
So she wasn't very old.
Chopping bodies in half.
Yeah, she found it super interesting, but I don't think she kind of realized they were real bodies.
They were real bodies, yeah.
They were real people. But she found it super interesting looking at it, and I obviously took her to the lungs because there's like a box with all lungs in. But it's all different lungs, like lungs with emphysema, lungs with like cancer, a smoker's lungs, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, don't smoke because that's what your lungs will look like.
That's what you look
That's right.
like.
So yeah, it was super, super interesting. I found that amazing. And she took it in her stride, because I did wonder, because we got the tickets. I'm like, will she be weird
Am I
afterwards?
going to horrify my little girl?
Yeah, we're going to horrify my 7-year-old child. But no, and she still remembers it now, and she has no, So yeah, Body Worlds was kind of an interesting one. But we've been to loads. We've been to loads of museums with her over the years.
I love a museum. When we went to our 2018 Europe trip, we went to the Balzac Museum in Paris. Balzac. We went to the Tate Gallery in London. We went. I mean, the Globe that they rebuilt, the third version of the Globe, is basically a kind of museum. So they took us on a tour of that. The Art Institutes in Chicago is a great museum, and there's a museum. The Chazen here in Madison, Wisconsin, is a great museum as well. So we go there on a somewhat regular basis. I love art museums and natural history museums.
Natural History Museum twice in London. She's been to. We went to a really cool museum in Glasgow where they had the Salvador Dali painting, which was amazing to see in the flesh.
Yeah.
Which is is it St. John on the Cross? I think.
Well, that's one of them. Yeah.
Oh, I saw I went to the Louvre.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
there
got stuff in it.
Yes, it does.
Stuff.
And it was designed by I.M. Pei, and I wrote the Wikipedia article about him.
By the way, can I just say, you know, everyone makes the sort of stereotype that the Scottish are tight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, when I read up afterwards about the Salvador Dali that's hung in this museum in Glasgow, right, which is worth millions of pounds now, you know what I mean? It's worth a lot of money.
Loads of money.
They did a blinding deal to get that. They paid £11,000 for it while he was still alive. You know, they bought it off him, and they knocked him down. I think he wanted about 18,000 originally.
I gave it 2.
Yeah, they literally knocked him down as low, and then wanted all the rights to any merchandise from it as well. So they got everything, the whole caboodle, and they paid him 11 grand for it.
I see you Scots are thrifty with your courage as well, as Principal Skinner said.
I did say to Kay that day, there's loads of paintings by quite a few famous artists in that museum, and I came out and I thought, how much money's worth is on the walls of that museum? You know what I mean? It's
every museum,
crazy.
yeah, totally.
It's crazy, isn't it? When you really think about it, it's just they're some of the most sort of valuable places in the world, aren't they? When you think about
what's great about British Museum is that it's all ours and it doesn't belong to anyone else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brits forever.
Yeah,
that's right.
And we found it all on our aisles.
Yeah, we did. All the stuff that's in those is totally British.
It's all totally ours.
100% British. Yeah. Do you know the weirdest thing I think is in museums? Can I just say?
Snot.
No, I often think about this.
There's a lot of snot.
The weirdest thing in museums are mummies, I think.
Mummies.
That's pretty weird, no doubt.
It's when you really think about what a mummy is. That's a person sat there.
But you also took your daughter to an exhibit of sliced up lungs.
But isn't it weird to think that we went to? It's like if someone went.
Got a good point, actually.
No, but listen, it's like if someone went and dug your nan up, right, and put her on display in a museum.
Yeah, and what you took
Millie
Millie
to? Look at her eyes.
What you took Millie to was somebody dug your nan up and then chopped her in half.
No.
Yes.
Volunteers.
Yes.
No, they were all volunteered. They all agreed.
Doesn't matter. All right.
Chinese prisoner volunteers.
Your nan volunteered.
Went, if you want to see me in a museum when I'm like dead and gone.
Okay.
Hey man, you want to get dug up?
Dude, it would still be weird if your nan volunteered for it.
Yeah, it would. But you know what I mean?
No, you're right though. No, I know what you mean. Yes, look, taking a corpse out of Egypt and saying, "Let's put this corpse on display in the British Museum," is weird behavior.
And before they died, there's like, make sure I die with dignity and I'm mummified and no one can see me. Bury
me with all my gold.
Yeah. I will. Yeah.
No, take all your gold.
The British
rang, take your body and everything. And stick you in a museum.
They're taking you. Oh, have you sold me? So are they going to give you loads of money so the family can live in wealth? What? They're just taking it. Can
I just say, I saw the weirdest. I was reading an article today, and I saw the weirdest thing I think I've ever seen. I say it's weird. Yeah. It's not that weird, but it is a weird thing to think about. In Dubai, right? In Dubes,
yeah,
there are ATMs for gold.
Yeah.
Ugh.
There's an ATM where you can go and get your credit card or you put your cash in and actual gold comes out.
There's an ATM. I saw an ATM recently for crypto. You can fucking take crypto. I was like, oh God, damn it. They're just trying so hard.
Do you not extract your gold from a machine?
Yeah, I just usually just go put my card in and get a bit of gold out.
Yeah,
do you know
not?
What I mean? It's like,
how else are you going to tip the sky caps?
What the hell?
What the?
Dubai's weird. The weirder, even weirder than that in Dubai is they're fucking air conditioning the outdoor markets and shit.
Yeah, the air conditioning,
That's
everything.
fucked
Everything
up.
is air conditioned.
That's
I love it.
wrong.
And they're
God
worried. They're
damn
worried
it,
about the
man.
global warming and let's air
Yeah, they're
condition
worried about global warming.
outside.
Here's me at home.
I ain't worried about
Here's me at home
shit.
washing my yogurt pots, and there's Dubai like trying to air condition
Yeah,
the
exactly.
fucking
Yeah.
desert.
Right. We're
Yeah.
gonna air condition the outdoors.
Yeah, they
Fucking
are.
assholes.
Mind you, they do that in Las Vegas as well. To be fair.
Well, that's also an atrocity against
But
humankind.
in Palm Springs, they have like water mist from spitting out, which is a little bit better, isn't it? I suppose. But
I guess.
I guess
We have to dramatically change our energy policy. That's what we need to
No.
be doing.
I
What we need
convert
to do
it
is
to a
school
different
the
energy
outside-
provider, Duke.
Yeah,
What more do you
actually,
want me to
Duke.
do?
Actually, dude, you've got this all wrong. You got this all wrong.
Oh no.
Because they're
Go
actually
on.
reducing the outside temperatures. That's surely got to be good for global warming.
Did you
Let's
see?
put silver iodine into the clouds.
Did you see that clip on? I don't know where it's from. It's like it's kind of like a Sideman thing, you know. These like sort of funny, but there's the chap, and he thought like he was like, oh, you know the big fans, you know, like that you get.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, that's for global warming. And he's like, yeah. So it's to cool the earth down. I was like, no,
There you go.
no, it's not. No, and he thought it was. He thought that the fan was to cool the earth.
Wow.
It's good stuff.
It's like a satire thing. Hopefully.
No,
it's
no,
not
he
an
was.
actual
No, he
person
was true.
thinking
Yeah,
that.
no, he was being honest.
I don't know what I believe in terms of people being that stupid.
No,
but-
no, he's correct. He
I
was,
don't
he was
know.
absolutely thought that was right.
Can I just say, Jason in the
Yes.
chat has said
He's just going off.
he's going off. But one of the things I just want to pick up, he said, I believe the Good Time Garden was developed by sexist devs. No, that's not true because can I just say there are more wangs in that, unless they're being sexist to all males.
Yeah.
Because there's more wangs than there are titties. Just saying.
Titties.
There's plenty of both.
Yeah,
I
there's
think it's an
plenty of
equal
them.
opportunity, genital
Yeah, it's definitely not
joke
sexist.
game.
It's one or the other. You know, it's got a bit of everything. Can we just say?
It's like Sir Mix-a-Lot. People, look, Sir Mix-a-Lot got some justified criticism for Baby Got Back, but what people don't realize is in his first album, Swass, he had a song where he talked about my homeboy Kid Sensation is a teenage lady killer. Maharaji's on the deaf side dancing like a freak. The girlies see his booty and their knees get weak. So he's an equal opportunity butt enthusiast, and he was celebrating
He
the
is.
butts of women
I think-
and men.
I
So-
think we can agree, though, that a lot of rappers probably aren't the most savory lyrics.
Oh no, absolutely not. There's a lot of misogyny and sexism in hip hop.
Yeah,
Anybody
yeah.
who wants to know more about that should watch a documentary called Hip Hop Beyond Beats and Rhymes by a guy named Byron Hurt. It's excellent. I show it to my students every time I teach the class about hip hop, and which isn't going to happen anymore because the students aren't taking it, but whatever. It's a really good documentary film. Hip Hop Beyond Beats and Rhymes. You might be able to find the whole thing on YouTube. It kind of comes and goes because the copyright's unclear, but it's a really great movie. It's all about that exact question of like sexism and misogyny in hip hop.
Yeah, it's not ideal, can we just say? Okay, I think that's it. Is it? I think that might
I
be
think
it.
that's
I think
it.
it might
We
be
got some
it.
shout outs.
We do some shout outs.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
Do you know what? I'm gonna shout out Jason. I know that you might not agree with what he says.
Jason.
But he does engage debate. You know what I mean? He encourages debate.
Yes, he does. It's true.
So that's debate is never a bad thing.
Just
It's
to let
just
you
not
know
a bad
that I'm not here next week.
What?
Oh my God! Why not?
What? Where are you?
I'm going to be in Nuki.
Nuki. Oh, I love Nuki.
It's
It's a
Not
nice
the
place.
Nuki that you're thinking about.
What
Is that the
Newcastle?
little dumpling
Gram.
pasta from Italy?
No, a different Nuki. It's called
That's Gnocchi.
Nuki. 2 words.
What's that?
Nuki.
Where is it?
Wales. There's a Nuki in Wales.
Okay. So it's
Just,
spelled
just.
NEWKLCCLMMCLLCL.
Now, is this for work or is this holidays?
This is holiday.
Holiday.
It's,
Hey.
it's just south.
Casecation.
It's just south of Aberystwyth. Nuki.
Ah, very nice.
I hope you have a
We're
wonderful
all
time.
going on a summer
So it's
holiday.
our first little holiday with the
holiday.
baby.
Can I just say, by the way, the wedding? No, I don't know why I said wedding. The weather is what I meant to say. The weather this weekend coming is meant to be pretty good. It's meant to be pretty
Alright,
good.
holds
So,
up for Nuki.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So it might be good.
it's our first little holiday with the baba.
Nice.
Just the three of us.
Just
So-
the three of us.
Yep. I haven't been to Aberystwyth since I was a young child, so it should be fun. Should be fun.
I bet you'll have a lovely time.
Have a good time.
Have a lovely time. And
baby updates.
I'll-
She's really trying to walk now. She's like,
Of course she is.
Go ahead, Rosa. You can do it. We love
To
you.
be fair, crawling isn't that very long a stage between
No.
crawling and walking. It's pretty quick to get walking.
she's so
once
fast
you're
on
crawling.
the crawling stuff now.
Yeah.
She's like,
Once she starts pulling herself up on stuff,
she's doing that.
that's-
She's
yeah,
doing
it won't be long. Millie was so funny the first time she walked because she never crawled. She didn't do
I
crawling.
remember you saying.
Yeah, she just did army maneuvers. She used to drag herself along with her arms.
Mm-hmm.
The minute she could pull herself up on stuff, it was done.
She was off.
And one day we were just sat talking, and she pulled herself up on one sofa, and she literally just let go, turned around, and just walked across the whole living room to the other sofa and just grabbed hold of it. And we were just like, "The fuck did she just do?" You know, when you're just like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was it. Once she'd done that, we were like clapping and going, "Oh my god!" She was like straight back across.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was it. Once that was done, and she was tiny, and she used to be walking when she was really small, and people used to just look at her and go like, "Is she old enough to be walking?" You know, this like tiddly, like baby almost wandering
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Because she's always been small, obviously, but yeah, she was funny.
Tiny.
Very-
Yep. So that was the latest news with Rosa. She can.
Won't be long.
She can.
It will not
She's pulling
be
herself
long.
up on stuff and trying, but she's not quite there.
Yeah, it won't take long. Honestly, I bet another few weeks she'll be
Yeah,
tottering.
I reckon.
She'll be doing the walk falling over thing. You know, walk for a bit and
Yeah,
fall
yeah.
over.
That's what I do now.
Well, don't we all?
Yeah.
Don't we all? Depends how much beer you've had.
Beer.
Beer.
Cool.
We want more beer.
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 Coffee.
Beer.
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 All right. Shout outs. Chinny, go.
Yeah. Go.
Shout out to Kev. Kev's been in the chat. Kev Westerman.
Yeah, he's not
Shout
been in
out-
for a bit.
Shout out to
He's
Kev.
not giving it
Yeah,
up with
such
the
a cute
goatee.
puppy.
He isn't giving it up with the goatee stuff, is he? He's just
Oh,
not
he's
giving
got a
it up.
cute puppy.
Well, you do
though.
have a goatee.
I,
straight up.
yeah, well, fine.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever's.
So shout out to Kev. Shout out to the Patreons. I won't read them out this week because I hate podcasts where they read out the Patreons every week, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Maybe I should read them out.
Do you know that wristwatch revival? I don't know. I've probably said this already, but he just scrolls them halfway through the show across the top, right? And there are hundreds. I'm like, how much money does he make just on those
Yes.
alone?
A lot of
Yeah.
people
There
are making a lot of money off of that.
Hundreds.
Yeah. Well, we don't.
And he sends them a
Nope.
sticker. He sends
Nor
them a
do we need it.
sticker.
A sticker, yeah. Well, all right, I'll read them
Sends them a
out.
sticker.
Seth McNitt, Value, Sean Thiel, Dan Fletcher, Declan McCluskey, Adam Birmingham, Armor Power Bears, Christian, Matt Nation, Robert Wilcox, Jake Peterson, Nigel Strutmeister General. There you go.
Strutmeister.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all though who contribute
Yeah. I'm
it
going to shout
pays
out
to keep the
Amar
lights on.
because he showed interest in Sledgehammer, and I hope he loves it as much as I do. I have very fond memories of watching that show with my brother when we were kids. So, yeah.
Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
Awesome. And shout out to Jacinta if she's listening. I don't know. I haven't talked to her in a while, so I hope she's all right. Shout out to
Yeah, we've
Jason.
not
I
heard
do
of
love
her
you,
for
dude.
a while, have we? We've not heard of her.
No, I know. That's what I just said. Shout out to the Duchess because she's awesome and she's making pasta tonight. And shout out to Chris, my buddy Chris. We're going to have brunch next week. So we just set that up. And shout out to my other buddy Josh and his family because we went over there last weekend. And I think that's where I got sick. So fuck you. No, it's a coincidence, I think, probably. But I'm glad I'm not sick anymore. Nothing makes you feel better than getting over an illness because you've been through the nighttime and you can appreciate the dawn. And tomorrow I get to go into school to talk about how we're going to come together as a school this year. Summer's over. Goodbye, summer. Mwah! You were mostly awesome, and I'll miss you.
Mostly awesome.
But it's time for a new school year, and I'm always excited about that. So, yay. new school year.
Can I just say, I will give a little shout out to Armar, but it's kind of a because he sent me the MacGyver theme tune.
Yeah,
remix.
that's why I sent him the Sledgehammer thing.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Sledgehammer man myself.
So he
I mean,
sent me
just-
that and went, "This has to be in your next mix." I
Okay.
don't think it'd work. Just saying.
Well, you could make it work.
I probably couldn't.
Dude, if that Palestinian DJ could put the Super Mario dun, 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 into her mix, you could put the MacGyver theme into your mix if you
Maybe.
really worked at it.
Maybe.
Give it a try. He would make him so happy.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, thank you for it anyway. Thank you, but it's probably
Yeah.
enough. Probably enough.
Okay.
Right, on that note, we need to get the hell out of here. So let's do the tune, baby.
What
Do
tune?
the tune. Do the tune. The theme tune.
Are you,
Getting tune.
are you talking about the
outro tune?
gold tune?
G-O-L-D, G-O-L-D, it's gold.
Yeah, that tune. That'll
That
do.
tune, I just played it.
Is that it? We're done then?
Thank you, good much love. All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you just switch off the television set and go and do something less boring instead? Sitting at home, watch TV, turning up slow moves of me. Won't you? Won't you? Why don't you? Go!
God damn, why did I suddenly start coughing there? The whole show I'm fine, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere just
Because you got COVID.
took 2 tests, they both came back negative. It ain't COVID. Try again.
Got COVID. COVID.
I guess it was Discord, huh?
Got COVID.
Could have been
Although,
Discord.
to be fair, like as my auntie calls it, COVIDs. Got COVIDs. Got COVIDs. So that's all we call it now in this house. It's COVID.
So I guess in the future, the key is make sure Discord's out and done when we start.
Yeah, it's not done it again since I turned the Discord off, so I need to just turn that off once I've clicked
There
on
we
the
go.
stream.
Make a note.
Yeah, make a note, turn off Discord. But there's obviously something's happening.
Are you
Some
gonna,
things
are you gonna get
happening.
on next week then? Are you gonna replace this?
So,
question.
no, I'll have a think. You know, make a decision. Make a decision. You know, get someone. Guess.
Make sure it's somebody who plays games. You can't have somebody coming on who doesn't have games to talk about.
That is true.
And
that
Duke,
is true.
are you going to be all right with the stream?
I
Oh,
think
God.
so. We'll see.
Oh God, are you allowed to go away? I'm not sure you're allowed.
It'll
to go
be right
away.
before school starts for real. It'll be fun. I'll be all
Oh.
stressed.
My God.
What are you gonna do?
Help us.
We're going away from my.
I don't know. One person has had some serious technical difficulties the last few weeks, and it ain't
We're
me.
going away for the
Wow.
wedding anniversary, Stu. That's why we're going away.
Oh, nice. Happy anniversary.
Nice. Quick question.
Yes.
Quick
I have
quest.
quick answers.
I've got a quick quest.
Okay.
Don't-
Should
don't-
I stop the
Uh,
recording? Is it that kind of question? About
Not
hemorrhoids?
really. Quick
Okay,
quest.
go ahead. I'll keep recording then.
Chinny, could you not share your account details with Duke, and then we don't have to keep stopping the show every 30 minutes, however long it is that he gets?
No.
Oh, that's right, because of the Zoom thing.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
'Cause it's
How much
tied-
is a
It's tied to my
actual-
Google account.
Just give me your Google login. What could the harm be of that?
What could possibly go
How
wrong?
much? How much does it cost for Zoom?
Just
actual Zoom stuff.
If you, here's a little trick.
No, wait. I can do. I'm gonna stop recording now. I can do it through my school stuff. I
No,
just have to
you-
use
you-
that login.
You
Yeah.
tried
Oh
that
no,
last
they
time
stopped
and-
doing it, didn't
yeah,
they?
It didn't work.
no,
It
that's
didn't
true,
work.
that's
You
right,
tried
that's
that
right.
last time.
You
It didn't
could
work.
do it through if it's just two of you, you can do it as long as you like.
Yeah, but
Really?
it's not though, is it? 'Cause
But it's
there'll
not gonna be
three
two of us, it'll be
No,
three.
it's not going to be three. It's going to be three.
Doesn't have to be
Products.
three. We make the rules.
Zoom, Meetings, business service. How do you figure out how to do real
Can I?
plans and pricing? No, that's an AI companion. Fuck off.
Everything's bloody AI these days. Have you seen that thing now, by the way?
Have you got
When you
Teams?
search-
Do you have Teams?
Mm,
Oh, yeah.
maybe.
There's a free one, and we use it for work all the time. It's Google Meet.
Oh yeah, that's true. There is Google Meet. I've used that for work. We could do Google Meet.
We use Google Meet a lot for work. It's basically the same as Zoom, Stu.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you set up a
If you
Google Meet,
say-
send a link.
We on Saturday of next week, if you're up, Stu, we should
Yeah.
maybe do like a test run.
I can't.
Okay.
I can't because I
You're
can't.
taking a shit.
That face, man.
No, because, well, we're meant to be going away for Kay's mum's 85th birthday party on Friday and not coming back till Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. It might be Sunday afternoon by the time we come back.
Well, maybe like
that would be a
a
problem.
half hour early.
So,
We can
yeah,
give it a
maybe
try.
before
if
the
you
show
want,
starts.
we can end this call and
Are you gonna try doing it now?
I can. It would be. I'll send you an email. Do I have emails for you two? I don't know anymore. I don't send emails to you two anymore.
Why
I send you an email every week.
Why would you? Why would you? I mean, why would you though?
Just respond to
Why?
one of those.
Right, hold on.
Both
hold
of
on.
you are always on it.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
Is there an app or is it through the web?
So what you do on Google Meet, you book something in the calendar in Google Calendar.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's an option that just says start a video conference, and
Yeah.
that's it.
I just want to know how to set up my specifics of like, because it's not just my camera and microphone. I got to go through different audio settings.
Oh, I see. Yeah, for the setting. It should be the same as like how you set it up with Zoom, because you're selecting one thing and then
There's
another
settings, and I just don't know where the settings are on
So
Google Meet.
Joey, hold on. Let me do this one.
Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Right. So
Send me an invite,
I've sent
I'll join
you
it.
two an email. Can you, when I've received confirmation that you both got that email, I'm going to stop the stream, by the way, so I can bye everyone.
Yeah, whatever you